What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, I'm all over the place right now. Other than that, though, I think I'm straight. How are you?
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, man, I'm over here like fidgeting around, man. I didn't get a chance to do my normal routines today, but it's all good. But I'm over here like trying to make sure like my checklist, like, yo, do I got everything done? Did I get that right? Did I get this square? You know? But either way, man, that's for another time because right now, baby, we got stills to talk about. We got injury updates, roster updates, and additions. We got national recognition as well. And we got a game that we got to break down also, man, or preview. So, definitely excited about that part, man.
Yeah, really not too much going on my end, to be honest with you. I wish I had maybe a cool story for you or something, but I got nothing.
Are you really going to tell me you don't have a story today?
I went golfing yesterday. That was nice, but there's not much to that.
Fair enough.
Went golfing with my one buddy.
Fair
played
enough.
18 holes. Went out afterwards.
I thought I was your only buddy.
Food.
I'm not your only buddy?
No, I got some friends.
Wow. I like it.
I got a lot of people, man.
I'm going to say, I would hope so. I don't want to be your only friend, Deke. I don't want to be your only friend.
No, I got a lot of people I'm cool with.
Let's go.
And, played Twitch last night.
Okay.
They're dropping a lot of good Steeler cards right now.
Okay. I like that.
That's really it. Nothing too eventful. And obviously going back to Monday, we recorded the podcast. That was just like a normal Monday. Normal victory Monday, at least.
A victory Monday like always. Well, now that I think about it, I did do some cool stuff today. I finally mailed off Jacob Malesio's giveaway package.
Okay.
It's only like 3 days later. So,
if that was me, I'd probably mail it about 2 or 3 weeks after.
Because in my mind, it was on my calendar to do on on Monday. I was like, I'm going to do this on Monday.
I would not feel bad about.
I was like, I'm going to do
3
TV
days
in
late,
the
you
morning.
said?
I'm going to go pick up my mom, and I was going to go mail it off. Did not happen. Yesterday, I was going to do it again. Did not happen. Instead, I decided to record film. I was like, I'm going to do a Master Most film session. Dropped a couple of those. Shout out to y'all that have been tuning in for them. I was like, I'm going to go with that approach. But then I looked up at the clock and I'm like, yeah, Jacob, it ain't getting sent out today. So finally we got to the day and we finally made it over there. And I felt really good about that. So I guess that does count for something.
Yeah, it depends on who you're asking.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me, you sent it on time, if not early.
He said it was on time, if not early.
Yeah.
I can respect, though. I can respect.
So I hope Jacob enjoys his gift.
I can respect it. All right. I think that is everything, though. I was slightly pissed off before you got in here.
What happened?
I didn't know why I was pissed. I was talking to my wife in the car. She was like, yo, you all right? I'm like, no, I don't know why, though. And it just hit me right before we started the show. Bro, so I was having some issues with my freezer.
Okay.
So I had to take it all the food out. I was getting the blow dryers, fixing everything because it's been like the rails have been sticking, right?
Okay.
Because we had to get a repair. Ever since the repair, we fixed one problem, but now we have this new issue where we can't open the door because the daggone rails in there keep freezing. So I was going online. They're like, oh, you got to defrost it. You got to do this. Get the hair dry. You can put Vaseline, all this stuff, right? So I spent like all morning knocking that out.
So this goes back to the beginning of the podcast.
Come on, bro.
Saying you lost your routine today.
Yeah. So I started my day off with that. So I'm going through. I'm like, all right, I got this. Take out all the stuff. Mom's looking like, yo, man, look at you in there. Just be a proactive. I'm like, not proactive, but I'll take the compliments, Wifey's like, all right, let's hopefully you get this thing fixed. Everything was good when I left. Doors was going in and out. Had Vaseline that thing going up. I was hair dry. Boy, you would have thought this was somebody's hair salon while I was in there with the hair dryer or the blow dryer, getting it in. I leave to do my 2-hour radio show. I come back and the problem came back.
Really?
So I was slightly discouraged, a lot of the way pissed off.
So the freezer's still stuck?
Yes. No, it's at this like 50 stage now. So I can get it halfway open and then I got to. So for me, I can get in and out of it, no problem. Problem is when we're talking wifey and the children. So that definitely had me on one for the longest time. And I've been trying.
Freezer
I
open.
could not figure out why I was pissed off, bro. I couldn't figure it out. It just hit me. I'm about to text my wife. So you know what? I'm going to text her to let her know, hey, babe, I figured out why I was pissed off. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought I just wasn't feeling nothing. That's what it was. That's what it was, bro. Because it threw my morning off, man. I'm still hot about it right now, Deke. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just thinking about the door after all the elbow grease I gave it this morning, Deke. Bro, You ever been doing so you start sweating? I started sweating, bro.
I think you just might need to take a bat to it.
So I try. So this is the other part, and this is the other part where I was pissed off with myself more than anything. So I'm not a handyman. I do certain odds and ends that I can get done, but I have graduated to the stage where, thankfully, you know, with the career I played or the career I had, I am able to have a little bit more disposable income. So typically, I wouldn't have even messed with it. I would have just replaced it. When we had this conversation when the freezer first started tripping, Deke, I said, hey, wifey, let's just go buy a new one. Don't worry about it. And she's like, no, we just got it repaired. We at least got to get our money's worth, da-da-da-da-da. So that's what ultimately made me feel the urge to go up. I was like, yo, let me be the super husband and get this knocked out. You know what I mean? But now, Deke,
It's just time to get a new one.
I'm over here like, bro, cut the check. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to look at that refrigerator again because it's the fridge freezer combo. See, I'm giving y'all all the backstory right now. But yeah, that's where I met with this thing, and I was pissed. Still am very pissed. So I'm hoping that this could give me some therapy. I can just talk it out while we're up here today. All right. So now that we've gotten through some of my transgressions, how about you all let us know where you're tuning in from, and we can start the show how we typically started, with positivity. Not with me being pissed off with my freezer, wanting to kick a dent in it, and then throw it out the back window, and then realizing that if I threw it out the back window, that I would just cause another issue because then I'd have to replace the back window. So then I would get pissed off and break the other one. You know,
Sometimes it's worth it.
I was going down there. It was going to be full on rage. Like I was at that stage with it, man. But we survived. Nothing was broken, and I didn't yell at anybody. So that's a win in my book, Deke. I'm counting my victories today, bro.
That works.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start it off with Nick Y here. 918, Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's good? What's good? Hit that like button, chat.
What's the word? What's the word?
Stan Claire. Good afternoon, Steeler family. Checking in from the 905. We also got XS Midnight. 414, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I see the chat is live. It definitely is live.
No, you better believe it, man. Oh, he thought we weren't live. See, they thought we was just over here just rambling. Nah, we definitely live. In the flesh. Let us go. Let's do what we do, baby. Mm-hmm.
Derek Morea, tuning in from the 480, Mesa, Arizona. Jeff H, 919, checking in. G Hughes, 559, Central Cali. What Stan Claire says, how about them Denver Broncos?
Oh, probably just in...
just ripping on Russ? One of those vibes? Everyone's ripping on Russ now?
I don't know if it's Russ. I think it was more so Hackett than Russ because Hackett didn't...
The time management.
Well, the time management, but then, just deciding to go for the 64-yard field goal versus letting Russ go for it on 4th and 5. That's, like, the big thing with it.
Yeah, I was wondering why people were so bent out of shape about the time management because either way, you come down to that decision.
Right.
Of, like, you still have to either go for it or kick it. Like,
yeah.
What does the time have to do with that at all?
Yeah. But
if you were going to go for it, timeout quick so you still have more time on the clock. If you do get it, then you can go up and spike it, and maybe you have like a 50-something yarder.
Yeah. But if you're kicking the field goal like that, walk-off style, it's like... Excuse me, it technically wasn't walk-offs. It was like some time left over, but you want to give the offense that would be getting the ball the least amount of time as possible. So I think it's one of those things, man, when people, want to just kind of... we got this one. I think that's kind of what it was because it's like...
And honestly, Denver should have won all those fumbles and stuff. Really.
And by the goal line on top of that, I don't think that Russ was out there trash, like playing terrible. I don't think that Hackett had like this god-awful performance either. I just think that when you're talking about that decision, and let's act like the kick almost went in.
It almost did.
Dude, let's be real.
I think it would have been good from 70.
I low-key thought it was just the angle. His direction was off, but he had leg. So my whole thing is if he hits it, are y'all saying that Hackett was, not in above his head and he did an awesome job trusting his kicker, believing in his guy, giving him a chance to win? Because that's the flip side if this is such a terrible decision that he went for a 64-yard field goal.
You know what it was?
What's up?
It's because Peyton and Eli on their Manning cast were questioning why the clock was running.
Uh-huh.
They probably wanted to go for it.
Yeah.
Or had thought in their mind.
Because all of us thought, especially knowing that it was Russ, and you paid him all that money, that, it's going to be Russ getting the ball. Russ is going to go for it on 4th and 5. So that's why you take that time out early. Like how they said, talk about it. You still got 2 other timeouts after that. Now you give yourself the best chance to go out there, run your 4th and 5 play, and then still have time afterwards.
McManus got a leg though.
Yeah,
He's the one that even tweeted out afterwards saying I should have hit
it. Yeah, and when you watch, it's like he wasn't short. It was definitely not short. It was just like I said, he barely missed to the left, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's too much Russ hate out there. Yeah. There really is right now.
No, it is. It is.
He's a corny dude. We've known this forever, but he's still a great quarterback. He's a nice guy too. Like it's different between him being like a shitty person. He's not a shitty person. He's a nice guy.
Why you gotta just start it out by saying, okay, he's a corny guy, but he's a nice person.
At times he is.
Can he be the nice person first, then corny second?
Actually, that's how it is.
Thank you. Can we go nice person first?
I think he's corny because he might be too nice.
Fair enough. Like I get it. I can understand why people might call him corny. But at the same time, the dude's living a great life, man.
Seems like his teammates like him outside of the Seahawks defense.
His teammates,
back like 7-8 years ago.
And even with them tweeting some of this stuff afterward, I was like, bro, what is this? Like, come on.
There's some underlying resentment there.
I understand from their perspective. I understand that part, but it's like, bro, he's still the reason y'all got a ring. So like, he's a part of it. Like, you're not winning it if that was Matt Flynn or if it was Tavares Jackson. Rest his soul. But it's like, yeah, get a minute of respect, bro. Russ is Russ. Yeah.
All right, I'll say a few more, and then if you want any.
I just John Rye, you corny dude, but nice though.
270, Madisonville, Kentucky. Rod Dulles, 330, Youngstown, Ohio.
Shout out.
Leah Warren, 254. Back up in here.
All right. Let me see. Do I have any? Hold on, man. Wait a minute. Because Franco kicked Broncos Nation. Let's ride. Yo, that joint killed me when it was like notable quotes. Geno Smith. They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. Russell Wilson. Broncos Nation. Let's ride. It's like, yo, man.
Geno Smith actually said that?
Bro.
Or was it a fake quote?
No, he definitely said it.
When did he say it?
Directly after that game,
really?
bro. They put the camera on him, and they're
I turned the game off when it was over. No way.
It was like, yo, Geno. So he's doing the interview. He's like, yo, so how does it feel, man, with all the people, all the haters, the doubters, people that wrote you off, man? What do you have to say to yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. I ain't right back. And I was just like, I love the line. The delivery could have been smoother, but I love the line. The quote itself was fire. So I'm down for the quote.
I feel like there was a reason people wrote him off, though.
And that's my point.
He was not good the first 3-4 years of his career. Granted, it was the Jets though too. But didn't have the best around him.
But still, I'm like the quote, yes. But when we think in big picture, it's a reason. It all makes sense. Don't act like you just forgot this.
Honestly,
you ain't been
for him to
like
get
this
chance right now at this portion of his career,
come on,
I mean,
bro.
he should be very like
this is
thankful.
rare.
Like this is crazy.
Yes, dude. That's why I'm like, come on, man. Like I love the quote.
You got lucky. The Seahawks are kind of tanking, but now they're 1-0. So are they really tanking?
Hey, no.
But to have a quarterback competition with Drew Lock, this has been like a very big positive for your career.
And in the competition, Drew Lock gets what? Didn't he get COVID or so? It was something where he ended up missing time in the competition where he didn't even play in the game. So it was like, you got a lot to go in your favor, baby. Let's just understand that's why.
With Jimmy G still being out there like as a backup.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. But shout out to Geno, though, man. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know why. I kind of have a soft spot for Geno. I don't know what it is, though.
TG?
No, because this is even before I met TG. Like, ever since he's been in the league, even when he was with the Jets, I don't know why. And then when he was with the Giants, and then even when he was with the Chargers, like, I played him, like, multiple spots, like, everywhere I've been at. But it's like, I don't know. I just always got this, like, soft spot for him, man. Like, it's never, like, no beef, never no... like, he's one of the one dudes, especially, like, that I've never been a teammate with, that is just always a good vibe. I don't know.
I think he was supposed to be better than what he was. That's the first thing. He was supposed to go in the first round and then going in the second.
That might have been why that changed my perspective of him too. That could have definitely been.
Where you're almost just rooting for him in a way because he got snubbed on draft day.
Because I mean, bro,
and then Jets being a bad situation too.
But him coming out of West Virginia, he was supposed to be the man. Like some of his stat lines are still just like, how, bruh? Like, what game were you playing and what level of difficulty was this all for you to have those type of numbers? Yeah. It's like that, man. It is definitely like that.
Did you have any of the chats you wanted to hit? Or you want me to just jump to these supers?
Man, let's hop in these supers, man. Let's get in these supers. Because you've been holding it down. Oh, T-Raw too. Shout out to you and welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
AJ Martinez says, Moats and Deke, the #1 podcast.
Hey, no, man, salute you, man. We greatly appreciate you from the heart.
Jacob Alessio, peace and prayers to all. Peace to all the ladies as well.
Hey, there we go. Diversity. Spread the love around. Yes, indeed.
Steeler Nation on fire. Dallas, come get Mason. Just give up a 6th or a 5th. It would need to be at least a 5th. I think when we were talking in the offseason, I wanted a 4th.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing we said. We said Witt helps us more. Would you rather have Mason as the 3rd insurance policy or a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick for next year or whatever year? And I think we both kind of were on that the stance of just keep Mason unless you're getting a 4th or better. But at the time, we was like, you're not getting a 4th or better at that part of the preseason either, so...
And Mason's there on the sidelines with a hat on, helping whatever quarterback's out there.
Yeah.
Giving him his eyes.
Let
him know what he sees.
Still hasn't been a distraction, so that's a huge positive, man. Absolutely.
No, I don't see him being a distraction either.
I don't either. But you just, we're keeping it in the right direction because...
If there was room for him to be a distraction, it would have happened already.
Well,
I feel like.
The reason I say that is this, man. We heard, obviously, from him right after the whole roster thing, depth chart thing. They were asking him, hey, man, just in terms of like your commitment. And what did he say? I'm here right now. Everything else, agent, Omar, I'm leaving it up to them. That's their stuff, but I'm here and I'm going to do what I can to help while I'm here. It didn't sound like a dude that was over the top to be here. It didn't sound like a dude that was over the top
No,
to
and I
do
wouldn't
this.
blame him.
So all I'm saying is context from personal experiences. Week 1, it's a different tool. He still might be good. The vibe is good. I was saying just as it goes forward, let's just monitor it. But still so far so good.
Jacob Alessio, quote of the day, remain teachable. Titty match. Did Trubisky say that?
I have no clue, bro.
It doesn't matter who it came from. I think it is a good quote.
It sounds pretty smart to me, man. Yeah.
Yeah, stay teachable.
Unless you don't need
Stay
it.
curious.
But what if you're the teacher?
Keep an open mind.
Do I need to be taught if I'm the teacher?
Yeah.
Why?
I think a teacher also always has to be learning.
Why?
It's just good for you.
Says who?
I say life.
I heard if you got too much information, that could be a bad thing. Over-analysis.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think staying curious, staying open to learning, that's always a good thing.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know,
You always got to stay that way. Like, for instance, Brady. He's always doing new stuff. He's always trying to get that edge. Find new things. New technology. Whatever it is.
That ain't working for him.
And is he not, at this point in the game,
they just got beat. They won.
No, but is Brady not at this point in the game? He's a leader. He's a teacher.
No,
but
he's not.
Still always.
No, he ain't even the GOAT. He's not even the GOAT. He's not even the greatest player.
I know he's not.
So why should I care what he did? Tell me what 7 do.
He's doing the same thing.
Seven
he's
lives
learning
his
the
best
podcast
life.
game right now.
He ain't worried about that.
He is. He's
rolling. He got him with the head over there, man.
He's got like 3 episodes going.
He got him with the head over there, man. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna lean on you. You do that. I got me." Yeah.
Well, speaking of Ben in the podcast, the co-host, he's done rocking the Pirates hat. So
there we go. So
I guess he got the message.
There it is.
Yeah.
When you got to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, that was Jacob Alessio.
Talking
we got
about
Big
you supposed to be
Gerbil.
learning, man. Don't nobody want to learn anymore.
No, you always got to stay learning.
You going
stay
back to
curious.
School? You going back to school?
No, not school. You could learn in other facets of life. School,
Okay.
actually. I mean, you know how I feel about school.
But that's learning.
I'm very anti-school. I disagree because I think school these days is just a factory just to spit out
education.
No, I think it's more about workers making sure you know how to do what you're told. Basically, I don't like that stuff.
No one to do what you're told is still learning though.
I disagree.
Teachable.
I don't know about that.
That's a skill. It still is a skill. You can't lead unless you know how to follow.
No, but there's also you got to think for yourself.
Yeah, but how can you formulate a plan to think for yourself if you don't even know just baseline fundamental stuff or foundational stuff?
No, it's all part of it, but just doing what you're told all the time, that's not learning.
Yeah.
You want to know the whys.
Okay. But you still got to execute, though. You still got to do what is asked, even if you know why they're telling you or why they're not telling you.
I get it. I'm talking about more from a personal development standpoint.
Okay.
Almost like, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this in my life?
Yeah.
Do I like doing this?
Fair
What's
enough.
my day-to-day look like? All that stuff. But
I like
school,
that, but
school doesn't teach you that.
No,
school just teaches you,
but this
hey,
is my question, though, Deke.
be a good employee.
But think about this, though, Deke. You're speaking from the stance of a grown-up.
I'm trying to help people.
Yeah, but you've already went through that to get a baseline of education.
felt that in
you know how to
college.
read, you know how to write, you know how to all your basic math. Like, you don't get that without going there at least. That's all I'm saying. So how can you get to the stage of formulating your own opinions where they're not going to hurt you or others around you if you don't have the baseline stuff? And that's what I think school does give you, at least that part. Now, we can get into some of the politics and everything else that goes with it. And sure, that is very valid. But there still is a place for it, in my opinion. That's all.
Sure, place for it. College, huge scam.
It's all depending on what you're looking for, man.
Fair.
Depending on what you're looking for.
Fair.
But either way, you know, we'll let the school people do what they do. The non-school people can do what they do. Everybody live your best life, baby. But looks like we got Big Gerbil just joined the upper room. So let me holler at him real quick. Big Gerbil, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
C. Wilson, 2012. Start Pickett and trade Mitch.
Oh, you heard him.
LOL.
You heard him. You heard him. All right.
Black and Marty giving us some support as well.
Hey, shout out to Black and Marty, too. Always love when he's in the house, man. We appreciate you. All right, so before we get to the first topic, I remembered today, Deke, to say this. Like the stream. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All right. Got that off my way or off my chest. Now I'm good to go. All right. So we obviously know it's game week, baby. Week 2. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have their home opener at Acrisure Stadium. Do we got the nickname confirmed yet? The Shore? We're going to hit it at the Act, right?
I don't think there's
We're gonna
any
act
buzz
right next to the
for
Shore?
one way or another.
Okay.
I don't think there's any buzz right now.
All right.
The Shore makes the most sense.
The
to me.
Shore.
I like the AC unit as well,
Ooh, the AC unit.
but the
AC
Shore
by the
just
Shore?
flows perfectly because it's down on the North Shore.
That's what I'm saying. It is on the shore. So it's like, so on Sunday, Steelers Patriots home opener at the Shore. All right, we're going to come up with one of these nicknames. Eventually it's going to stick. All right, eventually it's going to stick. But, you know, we're excited about it, man. Obviously, we're 1-0. Patriots 0-1. They got beat by the Miami Dolphins down in Miami. Did you hear about them going down there like a week early too, bro?
The Patriots did?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, that was different.
They're probably up to some shady tactics.
I was like, y'all went down there. How many days? Like, God, dog. All
I
right.
could see them also wanting to get used to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but does that really work that fast for you?
I have no clue.
I don't either. I was wondering.
If you're down there for a full week, I'm sure you get acclimated somewhat.
Or do you get drained?
Because it has been getting a lot cooler up here in the Northeast.
Yeah, it has.
But I guess it didn't work out for them. They got the loss.
Yeah.
I can't think of another reasoning, though, for why they would do that.
Like,
because
'cause
it's the same time zone.
Yeah, because I know when you go West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, West Coast, East Coast, you
It's
come
probably
out
only
there
like
day
a
or two
2.5 hour flight from there.
Yeah.
I know it's 2 hours from Pittsburgh to Florida.
But
Probably 2.5, 3 hour flight max
Tops, yeah.
from Boston.
But that would have to be it. But I'm just like, is that really enough time to get acclimated? Like, I don't know. I feel like if anything, you just drain yourself.
I have no clue.
Who the heck knows, man? But either way, man, as we always do when we start talking about a new opponent, man, before we officially start the preview, we like to start with what we like about said team. All right. So in the regular chat or in the supers, wherever y'all want to do it, but either way, drop the 3 things that you like about this Patriots team. We're going to get to the negatives, but anyone could just talk negatives. We want you to talk positives as well, man. So give us 3 things that you like about this Patriots team. Drop that in the chat, and we will do the exact same over here. Would you like to go first?
Luke Walker has a suggestion.
let's
Says,
go.
Belichick just wanted a vacay. Give the man a break.
Maybe that was what. Did he have the hoodie on down there? That's the other question. If he had the hoodie on in the Miami Heat, he is a bad dude.
I don't recall seeing him in a hoodie. No, he definitely wasn't wearing a hoodie. There's
He
no way.
wasn't
But
in a
I don't.
hoodie, right?
I don't recall seeing the broadcast show him whenever I watched the game
I
today.
don't remember if he had the hoodie on or not. I'm like, yo, there's no way he had the hoodie on down
He did
there.
not have the hoodie.
He
on.
couldn't have had the in Miami, bro. There's no way you got the hoodie on in
Nah, it's
Miami,
probably just a
bro.
windbreaker.
There's no way. But that's the one for me I need to know. Like, did he? When I go back and watch it, I'm gonna look for him on the sidelines.
No shot in hell.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing? Likes?
Yeah. 3 things that we like about them, though, man.
My first like or going all 3?
We'll do first one. Yeah, we'll go first. Go 1-1, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
First one for like, you gotta have Bill Belichick. Dude has 6 championships. Depending on who you ask, people have him as the greatest coach of all time.
Wow.
Depends on who you ask. There's some other good coaches out there. Chuck Noll.
You'll be the one to bring him up. Wow.
49ers.
You
head
said
coach,
greatest
Bill Walsh.
coach, greatest quarterback combo together. I can't believe
Never said that.
You,
I'm just saying,
Deke.
depending on
Oh
who you
my
ask.
God.
He's in that top 3 or 4 range for sure. There's no doubt about it. He's probably forgotten more football than what people know or what people are learning these days. So that's one good thing, obviously. I still think, no matter what, and I've talked about this last couple times, we've actually brought up the Patriots and whether we're talking about their record predictions or how the Patriots are going to do, I still think you give that man the benefit of the doubt for all he's done.
Okay.
Even though it's looking bad at times without Brady, he still went, what was it, 7-9 with Cam, with the Cam and Brian Hoyer project, and then he actually made it last year in the playoffs with Mac Jones, went 10-7. Although that was a really ugly playoff exit.
But it was a bad matchup. Let's be real.
They played him fine in the regular season.
No, they did not play him fine. They played him in the middle of the crazy weather game.
What was the other matchup?
You remember? Yeah.
Wasn't it closer than the other matchup?
No, the other one, the Bills was beating them. Yeah, the Bills beat them. They just let them get the garbage time stuff at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Belichick's a pretty damn good coach, so I think that's one thing the Patriots can hang their hat on. Even though it's been a struggle over the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's always gonna keep them just based off his football knowledge. No matter what the roster is, who the personnel is, the other coaches around him, he's gonna keep the Patriots in the mix and keep them competitive. Because even though last week was ugly, there was just a thing or two one way or another. I mean, that's a tie game, or who knows? Maybe the Patriots have a chance to win at the end. But, yeah, I mean, Belichick's something you got to like about the Patriots.
All right. No, I definitely like that, man. And I agree with everything you said. When you're talking about Bill Belichick, regardless if you love him, if you hate him, if you want to call him a cheater, whatever.
6 championships.
Even if you say he cheated for 3 of them, still 3 championships. However we want to talk about it, it's the dude is stamped, So I do agree with you on that. I didn't put him on my list just because I figured he was going to be up here on somebody's list either way. But the one thing I would say that I do like about this Patriots team, just starting it off, I don't think they do it well, but I like their commitment to running the ball. Watching them in that Dolphins game, I thought early on they were having a lot more success. Obviously, as the game flowed on, it kind of got stymied a little bit. But the one thing, when you watch them, they never allowed themselves to become one-dimensional, even though they weren't having the most of success. But we've seen teams, and we've been victim of this before. Now, granted, it wasn't under Matt Canada, it was more under Randy Fichtner, where, we might struggle to run the ball, and we'll just completely abandon it. And we'll just start throwing it, and we'll see, sometimes it'll work out for you, and sometimes it win it, but it just wasn't the recipe for success. We always talked about being balanced, and we really didn't have that. But when you watch this Patriots team, they do that. And the thing that I like about them staying committed to that is it opens up some of the things they want to do out of their 12 personnel, because they do run a lot of 2 tight end sets with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. So by them staying committed with those big body personnel groupings, you can't just say, hey, man, because these guys are here, it's always going to be a pass. Oh, because this guy's out here, it's always going to be a run. They don't have that type of telltale sign. And that does go back to Coach Belichick. But as a whole, I think their identity in terms of just committing to being a run-first team in that element, or a physical team, to me, I like that part.
Number 2 for me. After week 1, I was thinking about taking him off my list, I'll be honest.
Don't you do it.
But I defended him way too hard against Kirk Cousins. So.
I was thinking, I swear.
He was terrible.
When I was watching this game, Deke, I was over here like, oh, I can't wait to hear this man when we come in here. Because, whoa.
He was bad.
Whoa.
Even before he got injured. I don't even remember when he got injured. Actually, he might have. Didn't he throw that deep ball after he got hit with the back injury?
Okay.
That was his best throw. It was late in the fourth quarter.
I was like, I don't know when this injury happened, because he definitely was out there in the fourth. He finished the game, bro. It was no switch. No. That's why I'm like, yo, when did this happen? Yeah.
I think it was later in the game.
And he didn't even get hit in the back on the strip sack where Ingram scores the touchdown. So I'm like, was you back? Was your back? Or was you just playing bad? Which one was it? But sometimes it'd be like that. I done had a game or two where I might have had, not the best out, and I'm in the training room like, hey, can I get some ice just for the meeting? I just when I need coach to see the ice bag so he'd be nice to me. All right. It's real like that, man.
I will keep Mac Jones on my list though, because it was 1 week.
Let's go.
I think he's a good young quarterback. I think he's a winner.
That's your dude.
He's not, but he apparently has become my dude because I've debated him versus Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And I said I will take Mac Jones over
Yep.
Kirk Cousins. That's
And-
simply it. I mean, he's like a
No.
top 15, 16
Listen,
quarterback.
And I'm going to tell you my personal biasness towards you and Mac Jones. It goes deeper than that.
What happened?
It was a conversation that took place in my house with you, me, and my father-in-law as well.
Yeah, can we share it?
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
You know, whatever you say, I'm going to make it.
You're really against Mac Jones, is
I
basically
am.
what you're saying. So
I am.
first it started with the Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins debate.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was probably, a week or two later, your father-in-law came up there?
The following week after we had the convo, the following week, my
Yeah.
father-in-law comes into town. And what does he say? You heard it. We were talking quarterbacks. He was big on Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all obviously know the quarterback I'm big on resides in the 716.
And here's the funniest part, too. He said, Mac Jones, I think that Mac Jones, he's a killer, man. He's the guy up there. And he said, I think he's better than you-know-who. I was like, yeah, for sure. I thought he was listening to the podcast, and he was talking about Kirk
Hey,
Cousins.
you agreed.
And I was like, yeah,
Yep,
I know what you're saying.
you agreed.
But then he, looked at you.
You agreed. And that set it off. And you tried to pull it back, but he never heard you pull it back. In his mind, he heard you say, yep. And ever since then, he still is like, your own dude said that that Mac Jones better than Josh Allen. So I'm telling you.
No, I disagreed with him after he said Josh Allen.
But it was too late because you had initially started by saying, oh, yeah.
I said,
And when
hell
you-
no.
and
I
when
was
you
like,
said,
wait, get this out of my...
As soon as you said, oh, yeah, he was like, I told you. And ever since then, Deke, it's been beef. I'm just throwing it out there, all right? When I look at Mac Jones now, I'm over here with the side eye. I'm like,
I don't think
that's it.
He's not better
That's
than
all
Josh
you
Allen.
got.
He's not better than Josh Allen. There's no way in hell. But I still think he's a good young quarterback. He's a winner. He's going to stay in there. He's gritty. He's got good accuracy. Yeah. It's just week one was ugly. This is basically all the things I'd be saying about Mac Jones if we were facing the Patriots heading into week one. So I'm just going to say, hey, bad game week one. Now, I don't think they got a good surroundings for him right now. They got this whole weird scenario, and we can get that into that later with the dislikes.
We'll definitely get to that. Absolutely. We'll definitely get to it, man. But so you stopped with Mac Jones. Okay, so for me, my number two thing that I like is their defense. Not a lot of star power in terms of names. Obviously, Matt Judon, he's a really good player. He's productive in terms of when you look at his stats. It's just from the player's perspective, it's slightly different in terms of how we view him versus like a TJ Watt or a Myles Garrett type or a Khalil Mack type. Still really good player, though. I don't want to get that misconstrued. But just as a whole, I think that their defense, they just play fundamentally sound ball. They communicate really well. They tackle really well. Literally, the one mistake that I saw from them cost them the game in a sense.
The 4th and 7.
The 4th and 7. You got 3 defenders.
And it was a good pass. I guess you got to give credit to Tua. That was one of his best passes that game.
The beautiful pass by Tua hitting him in stride, and then Jalen Waddle just being Jalen. That's part of the reason why he was, a top pick anyways coming out of Bama. The speed, the run after catch ability, him, Devonta Smith, that's what they do. So seeing that happen, that was really the biggest mistake that they made, but that's what cost them. Because other than that, I'm like, they ball search. You watch them when they're hitting guys, they're trying to hit that ball. They're searching ball, whether they're going for sacks, whether they're hitting with Tyreek Hill. He had a couple plays where it's even though he didn't lose the fumbles, you watch him. It's man, they're attacking that ball.
Peanut punch action.
Absolutely, they do that. You know what I mean? We can call this. They can get the peanut punch label, just not for Shaq. For Shaquille Leonard, that's all. I don't like it for him.
Leonard.
I don't like it. It's still rolling off the tongue rough. All right, but I don't like it when it's labeled for him because it's disrespectful. But for everybody else, the peanut punch is real. So yes, they do that. But I think, like I said, man, they're stout against the run. They are good on the perimeter. They have smart players on the back end. I even like the nickel action, man. In terms of was it Duggar and it's another guy that they have that comes in. I think that
Duggar's unreal, dude.
Yeah, that bro, super productive. He gives you that productivity. I don't know why, bro. Ever since we had Mike Hilton, I've become really in tune with who's a dope slot? Who's another dope slot? No,
Duggar's better than him.
I would agree.
He's really good.
Nice,
I mean, he's kind of a safety too.
He's athletic.
The open field tackling
he's athletic
was incredible against Miami. I thought.
Yeah. He's physical, plays down by the line of scrimmage, can fly. He's a really good player. But like I said, as a whole, their defense, man, I just think that they have a really good unit. And it isn't a surprise, too, when you're thinking about Belichick and you're thinking about just what his hands, what his stamps are, defense. He's going to always have that. Special teams is also going to be a really good unit for him as well, man. But the defense, for me, I had to put that up there as a man.
I agree with you on defense, especially after that Week 1 game. You didn't really know how they were going to look after missing some key guys. I mean, losing J.C. Jackson in the offseason. But, no, I thought they did really well. You got to think they only let up 13 points. One of them came on that 4th and 7.
Yeah.
Because the other 7 points came off of the strip set.
Yeah.
Where
And it was 2 field goals. That was it.
Yeah, they actually played pretty good. Now, I don't know if that's also because Tua is potentially that bad. Although Tua didn't have a terrible game. He had some bad passes.
Deke, I was about to say Deke. He has some passes out.
He had some really bad passes.
He had some good ones, but he has some, like, I thought the worst, though, was the
he
drop
was in the
pick.
flow of the system, I felt like, for the most part.
You know what? That's a fair
That's
assessment.
the best way you can play.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's good, but he
definitely
played
looked
the
more
game
system,
fine.
though. Did he look more system to you, though?
Very much. I mean,
looked
it was
system.
a college offense almost.
Okay, thank you. Because I swear I'm watching, I'm like, bro, this is, like, yeah, this is not good.
West Coast, dump off passes.
Time and, like, get you over here. Get you, a lot of this, you run to the flat. Give me a stop route. Give me a drag. Like, all right. I would have just expected a more wide open, explosive offense because of the weapons they have. But yeah, that was definitely not the case. But yeah, I thought, man, his worst pay was the one that the drop pick that happened when it was like was it late third?
There was one
fourth?
Tyreek mossed him.
Yeah,
are you talking about Mac Jones or Tua?
No, I'm talking about Tua. Tua is like late. It hits the DB in the head with the ball. The dude just drops it.
Yeah, he had short armed a couple too in the dirt. She's like, how's this even possible?
Yeah.
I don't even think I would do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have defense. Actually, I agree with you on defense, but I have highlighted here the tight end group. I like Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Problem is, those dudes are always hurt, and I don't know if they get featured enough. They weren't featured enough in Week 1, I think.
I would agree 100%. Like, I like what those two guys bring, and when you watch them, they are mismatches, man. Jonnu, bro, like, watching him run after a little bit, man, with that ball, you can see the explosiveness. You can see what makes him such an intriguing player. Hunter Henry is a similar concept. I just didn't think that New England offensively really had an identity of where they were trying to attack through the air. I thought running-wise, they were clear. They would define, look, man, we're going to run Ramondre Stevenson. We're going to run Damian Harris. Like, we're going to hit this. We're going to pound this ball. But watching them on the perimeter, like when they're trying to throw it, I'm like, all right, you're not really stretching the field. But then late in the game, you start stretching the field. Then it's like, all right, you're trying to work some of the tight ends, but then you're not really working the tight ends. It was just like they didn't really have any type of direction where they were trying to go with that ball, man. Like in terms of like, hey, like when we think of our offense, we say Pat. We know Pat's going to be a receiving threat. Deontay receiver off the top of our head. We know when we're talking about going deep, man, we're thinking Chase, we're thinking Pickens, Boykins, right? That type. And that's kind of like the basis of our offense. We know our identity. With them, I'm like, bro, is it Jacoby Myers you trying to feature? Is it Nelson Aguilar you trying to feature? Is it the tight ends you trying to play through? Like,
Ty Montgomery.
Yeah.
He might be getting too much time out there. Can't believe he's still playing, honestly.
That's how I felt when I saw Nelson Aguilar getting targets. I'm like, bruh, what am I watching? What is happening here?
Dude, whenever he gets some open space, he can fly.
Lightning quick.
Mac hit him on. It was almost the exact same play that Trubisky missed Pickens on. Mac missed Aguilar on. It would have been like a 70, 80-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he completely toasted the cornerback.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm just going to say the tight end group, I think those two players individually and as a unit are really solid. It's just they're always injured. Like, I don't even know if they were featured enough last year for the Patriots offense because they're just always banged up and it's weird scenarios for them. But if the Patriots can figure that out, because we know what it was like whenever they had two really solid tight ends with Gronkowski and Hernandez, then they can have some good things going on offense, because I do think they are limited in other areas like receiver. Yep.
I would agree. All right, now you got your last
That was my last one.
Okay,
Belichick, Mac Jones, tight end group. Yep. I also did want to highlight, now you mentioned the defense, and I agree with you as a whole. I was going to say that because I was impressed with how they played week 1.
Yeah.
But they're two top guys. I like what Matt Judon does, and then also Duggar.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. All right, so my last I was really specific. Good decision making at quarterback.
Oh, come on, dude.
I don't like the quarterback.
Just say Mac Jones.
No. They just have good decision making at quarterback.
You could say you don't like Mac Jones week 1, but how about just as a whole?
I think he's a good decision
solid
maker.
Rookie year.
He's a good decision maker. I think that he makes good decisions with the ball. I've told you on record, and that's why we had the whole issue with the Kirk Cousins thing. I don't think Kirk Cousins is limited to the extent that Mac Jones is. I think Mac is still a good player, but I think people wanted him to just come in here and put the Brady label on him because he joined Belichick and because he looked like Brady in a uniform, and that's not Brady. So that's why, for me, I simply say I think he makes really good decisions. And when given the opportunity, or I don't know if it's a given opportunity or just when he actually takes chances, but I think he throws a nice deep ball as well. And that was on display in Miami. But how many times you see him throw the ball, Deke, in terms of stretching the field like that? Maybe 3 times. He connected on one. I know he missed on the other one, and I don't remember. Was it a third deep throw like that?
There weren't too many.
That's it, but I think that if he did more of that, it might change my perspective on him. But in this game, and obviously we know that's not a part of what they do in New England, and part of that is personnel. When you're looking at his receivers, man, Devontae Parker
I think
at this
the line
stage
was a little bit shaky against Miami too.
They were.
He was getting pressured.
They definitely were, and some of the miscommunication that was happening up front also. But as a whole, I think that he makes good decisions. He's not going to be a guy that, like, even when you watch his interception, it wasn't a bad read, it wasn't a bad throw. It was a heck of a play by Xavier Howard, and that's how the safety ends up getting the pick while him just tipping it in the end zone. I still think he makes good decisions, though. I don't think you're going to find a lot of plays from him where you're just like, bro, what are you reading? Or like how the Joe Burrow pick 6, like where he's, like we say, was late inside on a Tampa 2, like you can't make that throw. Mac Jones isn't doing that type of stuff. But I don't think Mac Jones is as gifted to where we have to worry about when we say, hey, man, if Joe Burrow were to get hot, he could take over a game. Mac Jones doesn't scare me like that. Maybe it's because he's in New England. I don't know. But to me, he doesn't scare me like that. But I do like his decision making. So that's why I had that as my third like.
Yeah, I do think part of it might be. Well, we're going to get into dislikes anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that's some of the stuff that might be holding Mac Jones back from taking that next step from his rookie season.
Yeah.
But we doing first dislike? Or are we reading the likes
we're going to read some of the likes from the chats first. But since we are talking about likes, why don't everybody in the stream that's up here right now hit the like button as well, man? Because we're talking likes. All right, we ain't disliking, we liking. So drop those them thumbs up things, get your little likes on, and then after that, let's go over here and read some of the likes from the chat.
Raiden Hellman, Belichick, their defense, and also the tight ends.
Okay.
We got.
About to say, man, I'm trying to.
Q just talking about Jonathan Jones. Jonathan Jones is a dude.
I see Trevin Cancello talking about Ramondre Stevenson. He said he's been a monster since high school. I don't know since high school. I know he was a dog at Oklahoma, though. You know, I was a fan of him, man.
Yeah, he runs well. And you were on point with the running game. That was how the Patriots had their best success on offense. That's a given for any offense. If you got your run game going, you're probably going to be cooking pretty good. But there are times when you have dudes like Herbert or Mahomes or stuff like that. You could probably just abandon the run sometimes in the second half.
Because the thing is, like, when you have the throwing option, you can just score so fast. Your offense is so explosive that it doesn't matter if you're trailing, you can get back in it in a hurry. When you're just a run outfit and you don't really have that explosive element, you're kind of like how Baltimore is. Baltimore gets the bad rap because of the scheme, right? But in all actuality, it's just a running team that doesn't have explosive options on the outside right now. Now, we know, obviously, this last game against the Jets, that was a little different. But typically, they haven't had that element of it. And that's why when they're trailing, it's such a tough task for them to get back into the games. But, yeah, man, got to run that rock, baby.
Life of Beach saying, they put Montgomery on IR. When the hell did he get hurt?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Jeez.
I don't think that's that crazy of a loss. Although they did feature him a little bit in week 1.
Yeah. Jerome brought up special teams, though. We definitely
Yeah, no, they're always money in special teams.
And they got an ace as well over there. They're their guy. He shows up. You might even know their special teams dude, huh? Do you still remember the name?
Who are you talking about? Punter, kicker? You talking about return man?
No, he's a cover guy, man.
You talking about Slater?
Mm-hmm.
He's still playing?
He's the dude with the visor on that was forcing all the fair catches out there.
I'm not even in front. Whenever I was watching the game, I just fast forward through the punts and stuff.
Yeah, man. He's the one that forces every day going fair catch, makes day going all the tackles out there.
Well, whoever the punter is must be pretty damn good, too, because every time the Patriots were done with their 4th down, whenever I fast forward, Miami was inside the 20. Almost every time. I'm not seeing much else here, though.
Let's see. All right, well, shoot, man. Let's go to the next thing, man. All right. And we're still good on supers. So, yeah, we're good with that. Actually, do this real quick. Screenshot your supers before we start our don't like, our dislikes. Yeah, just to be safe.
You go first on dislikes.
Oh, you know that thing. You know I'm going to get it popping. All right. So for me, man, the first thing that I don't like, and actually everybody in the chat, drop what you don't like about this Patriots team, please. But yeah, the first thing for me that I don't like, I think that their offense isn't explosive. I think that it can be very stagnant at times, and it limits what Mac Jones could do, because I do think that he can be a lot better version. Obviously, we know week one is week one. Some people gonna look really good, some people gonna struggle. It's just that mixed bag. You never kind of
Rodgers looked terrible.
Absolutely.
He looked terrible last year, in week one.
That's prime example, right? I mean, we talked about even Mahomes last year early on wasn't the best. But we know once these guys get going, they'll be fine. But I just think that their lack of explosiveness offensively, they don't really stretch the field, whether it's with their receivers or tight ends. It limits what they can do, and it keeps it keeps their box packed in a sense, man. When you're talking about that, and when I'm saying the box, I'm talking like those 5 to 7 yards behind the D line, right? That area. And then obviously on the offensive side, the box, line of scrimmage area and stuff like that. I just think that, man, if they would take more chances downfield like they did the one time in the fourth quarter, I think that could open this offense up a lot more, and in turn make this rushing attack way more productive, because they're committed to it, but it's not that efficient just yet. I think Ramondre, he was averaging 5 a carry, but as a whole, I think as a team, they ended with 20-something rushes for like 70-something yards. Like, you want more productivity out of it. Like the commitment, but more productivity. And I think that is a byproduct of their offense just not really being explosive. You don't watch their receivers and feel like, hey, man, we can't do a lot of cover one versus this group. We got to stay too high shell. When we're talking about Cincinnati, what were we talking about? Hey, man, you got to stay that too high. You got to, you want to give them a little room, or not give them room per se, but you want to make sure that you have protection. If they're beating our guys, somebody's going to be over there to get these guys on the ground. This receiver group doesn't feel like that from my perspective. They just don't.
No, I think you're preaching to the choir. I think anyone that's watching the NFL would agree with that.
I'm over here like Jacoby Meyer. I mean, yes, he is a productive player. He's a player that continues to get better, but to me, he's a number 2 I think he's a number 2 receiver. But in New England,
he's their borderline.
He's their number 1. Yeah,
him, Aguilar. I mean, you got Bourne in there too. Devontae Parker.
And
they're all number 2s or 3s.
Yeah, Devontae
they're all solid.
Looks older at this stage. It's far cry from the 1,200 yard season that he had. I think it was in 2019, 2018. Like, he's far from that.
But he never got separation. He's always like a Des Bryant type of player.
Yeah, combat catch guy. Obviously, Tyquan Thornton's on injured reserve, so he's not out there. Obviously, he would be the speed guy that you would really be concerned about, the young rookie out of Baylor. But, yeah, they just don't have a ton of, like, perimeter weapons. They don't. Yeah.
First one I have is shady tactics. I don't like that about the Patriots. It seems like there's always something. I'm not wrong.
Right at their neck then, Deke. That boy say, yo, they shady.
I'm not wrong. Why is it always
shady.
something? If there is some type of cheating scandal out there, it's always the Patriots. Going all the way back to Spygate, then you got Brady with the Flakegate. Now you have this whole vlog situation with the Bengals.
Can we get Headset Gate? AFC Championship game, Headset
yeah,
Gate.
Exactly.
Throw it out there.
It's not a
I
coincidence.
don't know how much it hurt
something.
or helped, but it does go good. Throw it in there.
You've even told your own stories.
And Fire Alarm Gate.
I was going to say that.
Fire Alarm Gate.
And then didn't you say something about when the Patriots came into town? I don't know when it was. Was it 16, 17? You're practicing down on the south side. And there was some weird dude in a vacant building.
Sitting across.
Never was there before or after.
Never
that
seen him
Patriots
before.
Week, right?
Just Patriots Week. And we literally sent my man Jack, love Jack. That's the teams. That's our security dude. We sent Jack up there to get him up out of there. Because we like, yo, Jack, who is this dude? And why is he here every single day just staring at us, bruh? Like, we've had fans come. They got signs. Oh, we love you, 7. Oh, Arthur, you're the best player ever. Oh, Deke, have my baby. Like, fans are cool. That wasn't a fan. That was a weirdo, bro. Who was looking like, yo, are you a sniper, bro? What's your energy over there, man? Why you just... And it was only Patriots Week, though. Literally, that was the only week, man. So you might be right. It might be some shady stuff going on.
There always is. There always is with them. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on with them right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a extensive look at Trubisky because now we don't have Ben anymore. They're trying to get some new insights to this offense. Who knows what they got?
Maybe
they did vacant building for you.
For Kenny. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they planning for Kenny.
I don't know what they're doing.
You know what? I feel bad now because it says New England. I shouldn't have dropped that film session about what we did well and what we struggled with offensively. Because now they could look at that tape, bro. Oh my gosh, this New England. They leave no stone. They're probably watching this podcast right now. On top of this, bro, it would not. I never knew that they had dudes that would like try to read your mouse. I found that out. It was like, yeah, man, we list everything with the TV copy, and we start zooming in and looking. I'm like, bro, what? Like, yo, this is crazy. You might be right.
Watching your film session and watching the podcast isn't illegal, but trying to find out the new formations that we're trying to run or how we're trying to schedule out our first however many plays, whatever our audible signs are, that's some bullshit, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots know all that going in.
They the boogeyman? No, they ain't the boogeyman, but they shiesty.
Yeah.
They shiesty. They're not scary. They're just janky. It's a difference.
Very janky.
Yeah, we don't look at them like, oh my gosh, the Patriots coming. It's like, bro, what they done? What y'all done got into? What y'all done crack? What rule are y'all trying to go all the way there with? Yeah, because
somehow they can't pull it off against Miami. I mean, they even tried to go the extra mile with getting down to Miami a week early.
They did.
They still can't pull it off. Miami's their kryptonite for some reason.
Tell you, bro. Did I pick Miami?
I think you did. Yeah, I had a bad week. I think I only had like 3 or 4 wins.
I low-key think I picked just because of that. Just because I was like, yo, they always struggle with Miami for some reason. I don't know. All right. So that was your one, though?
Right. Shady tactics.
Shady tactics. Shout out to the shady tactics in the building. All right. My second don't like, and you can see I felt real directed towards a particular group of position players. Average at wide receiver. Yeah. The lack of explosiveness offensively that I was talking about, it's largely based on this wide receiver group. Are they good? Yes. But they don't have a number one. It's kind of like when our offense was led with Juju. It's like Juju, good player, but he's not a one. He's not a guy that is just winning a ton of one-on-one. He's not a guy that you have to swing coverage. So he's not a guy that makes you feel concerned, whether it be combat catches, run after catch, and stuff like that. When you're watching them, that's the similar concept right now. They have pieces where you can see like, hey man, maybe this could develop into that. Maybe this guy could have a more defined role here. But as a whole, it's just not consistent enough. They don't win enough for the one-on-ones. They don't get enough separation. And they're obviously not the best hands catchers either. I do have to throw that out there. This is not the same group that we just saw last week in Cincinnati. Night and day in terms of the receivers, and that's a big reason why I don't like that for them. Love it for us, though. Love it for us, but that's one of the big things that I don't like about them now.
All right, my next one is two-tiered, actually. So this is basically like my 2 and 3.
Okay, talk about it.
But it starts with Belichick.
Okay.
So I have Belichick in my likes for them, but I also have him in my dislikes because I don't know. I don't know if he's losing his fastball coaching, but he's lost his fastball everywhere else. And I don't know if he actually really had his fastball, but he's dismantling this team being a GM, I think, because it goes hand in hand.
He was so smart, man.
He's an amazing coach.
He got all the juice, baby.
Maybe he's outsmarting himself with
so you like
the personnel
Belichick,
he's bringing in.
You like Belichick the coach. You don't like Belichick the GM. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, but what would you consider the decision of making co-coordinators on offense? That's more coach.
Is that coach or is that GM?
I don't know. But the GM part of it.
He's the sign off one. He signed off on it.
Right. So underneath this Belichick tree that I have under the dislikes is they don't have the top level talent.
Yeah.
And then the coordinator situation on offense. In terms of top level talent, you hit the nail on the head in your last 2 statements with the dislikes. They don't have anything. And they spent so much money on their offensive personnel. When you have
Aguilar, that's I'm like, bro, how is Nelson Aguilar getting paid this much to be out there for you guys?
Now the 2 tight ends were nice signings, but as I said, they're not like featured like that. So I think there was some stat out there that the Patriots have the most cap space allocated to their offensive weapons.
Yeah.
And if this is what you're putting out there, that's terrible. Yeah. And that's on Belichick as the GM. So
but think about how many times when you looked at the signings that they were making over the past 2 years in free agency, that was one of the biggest criticisms. It's like, yo, they're shelling out a ton of money, but they're not bringing in a ton of productivity. And that's the part where you're like, is that the Belichick arrogance of, hey, man, I've been able to do it my way in New England for how long with whoever I wanted out there, and he's been fine. But now it is different because you don't have the ultimate X factor, which was Tom Brady at that time. So yeah, man, when we're looking at it, I'm like, it looks just like what he was trying to do when Brady was there, but now you don't have him there, and offensively it really stinks. It sticks out like it's bad, bro.
Yeah, combine that with the coordinator decision. of having Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, who's an excellent defensive coordinator, and Joe Judge, who is a really good special teams coach for the Patriots,
Yes.
as the offensive coordinator. You go from probably a top 5 in the league offensive coordinator, play caller, and Josh McDaniels to having a combination of a defensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator.
Why you break it
as
down
the
like that,
offensive
though,
coordinator
Deke?
now?
Deke, why you kill him like that? Deke say, yo, listen, they got Matt Patricia, a really good defensive coach. Really good defensive coach. Joe Judge, really good special teams coach. As your offensive coordinator. There you go, Deke. You absolutely right, man. You're right, bro.
It's Belichick. Like, you almost don't want to question in a way like, oh, man,
that's part of the
Belichick knows what
issue.
he's doing.
That's part of the
He's
issue.
got the 6 rings.
Maybe he's not learning
so much
anymore.
success.
Maybe you're right. You
Perhaps.
need to learn more. He needs to
Perhaps.
educate himself more. You're
Perhaps. But I don't know any other team around the league that is doing something like this. Now, if he did this when he still had Brady, I think maybe everyone's just like, oh, Belichick's a genius. Look at him doing this. Defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. It's working, but you have Brady. You don't have Brady anymore.
right. Yeah.
We got to see what happened when Brady left. Brady won a
And
championship.
it's not just that you don't have Brady. You have a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
Also, it's not like Mac Jones has been in that system for 4 years, and he obviously understands his NFL role. He knows who he is as a player. He's still trying to figure that out. We talk about here in Pittsburgh all the time, that second-year leap, and why we're so optimistic about your Najee Harris, your Pat Fryer moves, right? Because we're saying, hey, man, they had really good year ones, but now they're going to take that next step. The similarity in the system, the continuity in the system, the understanding of the verbiage, what to expect physicality-wise, what your coach might be thinking in certain situations. It got to a point where we knew what Coach Tom was thinking at certain points. We knew what Keith Butler was thinking at certain points. We knew what Dick LeBeau was going to think at certain points. Right now, if you're Mac Jones, man, you over here like, bro, I don't know. Is he going to be thinking punt? Or is he calling a zero blitz right now? Like, because you got a DC and a special teams coordinator as your OC. And when you look at their offense and we talk about how it really doesn't have, outside of running the ball, they don't have like a real passing identity. They don't know if they're West Coast, if they want to stretch it, if they want to go screen. No, it looked cookie cutter. It's like, all right, are you ready, Deke? You're going to run a stop. I'm going to run an in. You're going to run a curl. All right, here we go, guys. And you're just like, bro, are these really the concepts? Like, that isn't going to cut it at this level, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out going forward because literally in Mac Jones' rookie year, you have Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator. Mac Jones makes a Pro Bowl. The Patriots go 10-7. And this is all with pretty much the same personnel, I think, outside of Devontae Parker.
Yeah, and you had injuries offensively because remember, your O-line was banged up. You definitely didn't have all the receivers that were out there, and the tight ends. Was it Henry or Smith that got hurt?
I don't know. They're always hurt.
Yeah,
so I
would say both
you
of
can
them
almost
dudes
bet
missed
that they were
time.
hurt at some point last year. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, a rough start for Mac in that offense in week one with what he's got to deal with now, the coordinator situation.
Yep, I like it. Alrighty. And then it's time for my third one?
I think so. Yeah, that was my 2 and 3.
Sweet. So, yeah, my third one is this, man. Defensively, I don't like that they can't generate organic pressure. And what do I mean by that? Yes, Matthew Judon had 12.5 sacks last year. Yes, he had a sack
and
this
he had
game.
a good game against Miami.
But when you watch when I'm talking about pressure, look at how TJ and how Alex Highsmith were playing on Sunday, right, versus the Bengals. It wasn't a lot of blitzing. It wasn't a lot of stunting those dudes around. It was them just winning one-on-one matchups, just straight cooking tackles. That's not Matthew Judon's game. He's a good player, though. Like, he can win, but he's just not as sexy as those dudes in terms of rushing the passer. Productive, though, and that's the difference. Like, it's the difference between talking about a productive player versus a player that's going to make you fearful. Think Chris Wormley versus Cam Hayward. Both had over 7 sacks last year, but when you talk about the difference of how both of those dudes got it and the difference of how we look at both of those dudes, that's how I look at Matthew Judon just at this level. But to me, I don't think that they do enough of just winning one-on-ones, just having guys like even Uche. That's what I would say, not Osei, Uche out of Michigan. Even watching him, I think that he has a nice first step. He has a nice burst, but he still doesn't look like he has a full-on rush plan just yet. When I think of how Alex Highsmith was, when I watching how he rushes, not this year, but even last year, it's like, yo, he just has a better rush plan. He understands what he's trying to do. He's trying to set up rushes, put them together. When I look at Josh, I don't feel that necessarily right now. So that's why, like I said, for me, I'm just not a fan of how they generate pressure. I would like it to be, being able to get the guys up front winning one-on-ones, man.
They were getting a fair amount
Mm-hmm.
against Tua.
Yeah.
Tua was getting the ball out quick, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's why Tua was getting it out quick, is because I feel like they were close at points. But I don't know if it goes back to what you said. Like, it was almost like a fake pressure. It's almost what Miami wanted.
Mm-hmm. It's not like that. That's when we talk about our offensive line, I feel actually good about them this week. Okay? That's the type of energy I'm on right now. I feel good about them, man. I think they'll be all right.
With the Zach Gentry or Freiermuth chips and stuff, or just our 5 offensive linemen? Head-to-head.
I personally think your 5 offensive linemen, like Judon is the one that I would chip on occasion, but I do not feel like you have to do that. Don't just look at 12 and a half and get scared by that. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't care about what he did on paper. I'm looking at this tape and I'm looking at our guys and I'm like, bro, you've seen scarier than that. Them 2 dudes last week, way scarier pass rushers than Judon. And I'm not poo-pooing Judon. Judon is still a really dope player. I just think that he is a overall dope player, not a dope pass rusher. And when we talk about our offensive line, we're scared of pass rushers. Not overall good players, rushers, dudes that can cook, dudes that can run right by Dan Moore, dudes that can put Chooks in the mixer. That's not Judon. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm not going to come out here and be like, yo, man, we got to protect. Oh, man, I'm scared. I don't think we have to be like that. I think our dudes will be able to hold up.
Nice. That's good to hear. Okay, let's check out the chat, see what they're saying in terms of things they think could be holding the Patriots back. I am not seeing much Steelers-Patriots stuff.
I was about to say, yeah, I've seen
this
all type of...
This is a huge inside conversation going on right here.
What?
I'm seeing Cleveland.
I'm seeing RIPs. I'm seeing some Nipsey Hussle in here. I'm like, bro, what is happening? I do see Pizzagate in all the gates. Shady Brady. I see some of that. Bro, it is all over the place.
Wow. Here's one. Is this really dislikes? I don't know. He just says something. He says Boston. They think they're better than everyone. Belichick bit the hand that fed him. The price of craft dinner nowadays.
Ooh. Must be talking about Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed what I love about the Patriots, how salty Belichick is after a loss. I can't wait. Dude, yeah, I'm really not seeing too much here. Oh, no, here it is. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Yeah. Jacob Alessio. I got one. Number 1, I don't like Bill anywhere near Heinz Field. He needs to be strip searched before he is allowed anywhere near the stadium. 2, the sneaky run game they have. All right, okay, so he doesn't like that for us, I guess he's saying. And then 3, all the cheating. Fair
enough. I got Robert Bennett. He just pulled up. He says he doesn't like Mac Jones, the weapons, and the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Trevin Cancello, shot plays. They rely on their defense to keep games low scoring. That's exactly what happened in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Running back by committee. It doesn't allow one guy to heat up.
Yes.
Devontae Parker as a wide receiver 1. Not going to have a mismatch like Jamar Chase.
I would agree.
Christian Manzi, this one's an interesting. Their defense stinks. I actually think their defense is kind of good. 2, their quarterback's hurt. He's saying he's going to be good to go.
I did see that, yeah.
3, their O-line. Their O-line on paper's pretty good, but they did look miscombobulated against Miami.
Yeah. It was weird, though, because they weren't getting beat by a ton of one-on-one. It was more so just miscommunication, I thought, like.
Right. Miami was sending 4 or 5, but then 2 of those guys were going in untouched.
Yeah, that was the thing. But part of that is week 1. You know, when you talk about and usually this happens more on defense. We said missed tackles and mental errors in that first week because communication is kind of wacky. Guys get a little fatigued. Everything is happening faster than it was in practice. And a mistake defensively typically costs you a lot more than mistakes on offense. But, yeah, they messed up a couple of times, and they just happened to be strip sacks. Like, can't be doing that, man. Yeah.
Well, you want me to hit these super chats?
Yes, let's do that. And then after that, we'll transition.
Okay. First one, let me know if I get off track here. Jacob Alessio. Bill and Robert want Ely for a hug and tug.
Lord. I don't even want to.
No. Here it is. I'm getting this right. Bill and Robert went early. He meant to say early for a hug and tug down to Miami. And maybe instead of hug, he means rub. I don't.
I am staying away from it. I am staying away. Listen, we finally got past one freaky off-season janky topic. I don't want to start another freaky off-season janky topic right now. Like, come on, man. Just leave that alone.
That's his explanation, though, why they went down to Miami early.
Whatever it was. Maybe they wanted to go to live. All right, they wanted to go to the beach, get their toes in the sand. We're going to leave it at that.
Jake Malesio. Bill is a fraud. All the cheating, plus under 500 without Brady. Take away all the BS around him. He's a losing coach. Brady made him. I still think he's a good coach.
Yeah, and I think that both of those dudes go hand in hand.
Yeah. Really helped out Brady being on the Patriots for his career, I think.
Yeah. Brady's in another system early on. Who knows?
Jay Bland. My predictions for Sunday. 17-9. Big defensive day from Pittsburgh and the Pats struggle. Side note. When we seeing Deke on Footballing with Ben?
Uh-oh.
You got to ask Ben that.
I thought you had you weren't in the chat?
No.
Oh, I ain't know if you was hitting him with the chat. It's like, yo.
No, I'm cool. I'm living my life over here. If he wants me, I mean, okay. I don't have any agents or anything.
Okay. Just his people hit your people. Exactly. That's how it works.
Yeah. 17-9. Big defensive day, though. I could see it with how our offense played last week.
Yeah.
And how our defense played. And how Patriots' offense looks a little limited. I could see it.
We are going to be out there with one of our dudes, though, huh?
Who?
We're missing one of our dudes.
Oh, we're missing,
we're missing
TJ.
one of our dudes, though.
Malik will be fine.
We'll get to it.
Matthew Gisner. Just joining from behind enemy lines. These dirty birds are way too confident right now. Talking about the Ravens. Worried about the Patriots' D versus our offense.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to definitely get to that, man. And I can understand why you would be a little nervous. I can definitely understand that.
Mike Mula, rest in peace, PNB Rock.
Nah, facts, man. That was crazy.
AJ Martinez.
You at least saw that video, right? Or at least you're aware.
I didn't see the video.
Away, though, right?
I am aware of him passing away.
No doubt.
Yeah, I know who he is. I've heard a couple of his songs. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a shame.
Yeah, definitely is, man. We'll give him a moment of silence, though. 100%.
Sure.
Yes, indeed, man. Now, that sucked right there. Ooh.
AJ Martinez, watch Seven's podcast. Ben is super cool, but it's a 4 out of 10. Only 15 seconds of it was all I could take, even though I still watch the old interviews.
Jeez.
It's a little harsh.
Jeez, man. I don't even know how to respond to that, man. Yeah. Man, this is 7 clutch performance, man. You got to listen to the last 2 minutes of it. That's what you need to do. Check out the end part. He'll be fine. You checked it out, man. It's not.
I'm just gonna defend 7. Like come on. Well, no, I haven't even watched them. I haven't watched them yet. I've seen a clip or two pop up on social media, but I'm still gonna defend 7. I mean, come on, it's too harsh. Enough of that.
Man, I ain't watched it like that, but dang.
No, come on. Give 7 some respect, even in his off the field ventures.
Is he the GOAT?
In the podcast game?
In the media game, is he the GOAT too?
I don't know if I could say that. I'm in the media game.
Just check it. I ain't know, baby. Let's get it.
We got Matthew Gisner. I don't like Mac. I don't think he makes big plays. All right. This is his top 3 list or whatever. This is 4 dislikes. 2, lack of coaching. Too much control by one man. Going back to my Belichick point.
Yeah.
3, I'm not worried about their running game at all.
All right. There we go then.
We can't lay down, though.
That's...
It's one of those things. They are a limited team, but with how Belichick coaches and how he's going to have the Patriots ready, we can't make mistakes. We can't be out there lackadaisical.
They're looking for one.
Because all of a sudden, Ramondre Stevenson's going off for 100 yards, and we're doing stupid picks and strip sacks.
Yep, and we know that's how it starts. Yeah, they're looking for 1 to 2 turnovers. That's it, 1 to 2.
AJ Martinez. I'm here, boys. Just busy working and schooling at the same time. God bless the Steelers.
Let's get it, man. I like how he's just multifaceted like that, man. Always a multitasker. But salute you, AJ. We appreciate
AJ Martinez, if Tatas can improve slightly, we're going to go far.
I would agree, man. I would definitely agree. And part of the stuff is week 1. it's funny how that works. Like, we give certain players benefit of the doubts when it's week 1, and others were like just hypercritical, no type of grace, no type of, oh no, man, that couldn't have been, just week 1. No, that's who that person is. It's like nuts, man. Because I do think that Mitch and the offense as a whole can definitely get better, and they've already shown certain things where it's like, you can make that play right there. You can make that play right there. You can make this play right here. And not just Mitch, O-line, receivers as well. I just think that it's one of those things that you just got to keep getting the reps, keep getting those opportunities. This is another chance for them to build on the things they did positive, because they ended the game on a way better clip than how they started. You look at them late in the third, that fourth quarter time frame, offense starts to pick it up. You know what I mean? And obviously in overtime, putting together a couple of drives and stuff like that. They just have to start faster doing some of those concepts. And all those pieces offensively have to just be more consistent. But if they do that, yeah, this offense can be a lot better than what we saw on Sunday, man.
I think the one thing that's not in Mitch's favor is just how his career's played out, as to why maybe he's not getting as much of a benefit of the doubt as other players for week 1 type of stuff.
I mean, I think people are going to hate if they're going to hate.
No, but like Aaron Rodgers sucked. Well, it's not completely his fault, but you get what I'm saying? It's just like, dude, this is like 3 or 4 time MVP.
When I say people going to hate because we already know. If there wasn't a Kenny Pickett on this roster, if it was Mason Rudolph and it was Chris Oladukin, people aren't talking about Mitch and being hypercritical of him the way that they are right now. That is a large part of Kenny Pickett being on this roster and people wanting Kenny. We talked about that. That's part of the reason why I did some of the film stuff, to show that, hey, this is not just a Mitch issue exclusively, even though that's the narrative that a lot of people wanted to paint coming out of Sunday's game. It's like, nah, all of them dudes, Canada included, all of them got to be better. But that's the low-hanging fruit for people, man. And I do feel like that is largely because we are passionate, but we also have a first-round quarterback that people are excited about. And to get him out there, it has to be a reason. It has to be justified. So that's why people are even more hypercritical of Mitch, more so than all these other guys who, yes, they do deserve certain benefit of the doubts. But it's just like, man, yeah, like Mitch a scrub. Mitch still a Pro Bowler. Mitch still took a team to the postseason. You say 30-10. I didn't go there, but you do feel like that. But either way, I just think that he's a lot better than how people are trying to portray him right now. That's all.
Cameron Schrader. Thoughts on the Colts dropping their kicker after one game? Was a pleasure being the last caller on Monday. I told the story about my dad's broken arm.
No, I remember, man. Heck yeah, I remember, man. But yeah, I did see that, dude. That was, yeah. Was it Rodrigo?
I thought he was good for them last year too.
I did too. That's what I was like, man. I didn't get that one. That seemed a little like overreactive, but. That's how they want to operate. Yeah, I was surprised by that, though, man.
Because they've had such a good roster and just a really nice infrastructure going these last, 3-4 years. But it's been stupid stuff like Vinatieri that one year, his last season where he's missing kicks all over the place.
Kick, bro, yeah.
They've had 5 or 6 different starting quarterbacks ever since Andrew Luck retired.
Yep.
They just can't seem to get it right, so this is probably their next best option. Let's just get rid of the kicker. And
somebody got to be the fall guy, bro.
Exactly. Mike Mula just giving us some support.
Who they replaced it with. Who did they replace it with? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know if they made a signing yet.
It's just like, yo, why you got to get it? Dang.
Sean McCartney. Claypool had too many wide receiver sweeps. Have him go deep, even if he's in the slot. I feel he's better as a downfield threat.
Fair.
Yeah, definitely too many wide receiver sweeps. A couple of them worked, though. Honestly,
he was our leading rusher, though, bro.
Yeah, our success rate wasn't terrible on the jet sweeps. They just do get pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Even if he's in the slot, have him go deep. Yeah, I think he's just a good receiver. I mean, you could put him anywhere on the field.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have a lot to disagree with.
Yeah, he's just a big physical threat out there. Yeah. Damon Brown. What's happening, fellas? I'm excited, AF. I will be sitting front row in front of the scoreboard. Might get a ball. Hope to run into you guys. What time does the tailgating start? Shout out to Trina.
There it is. Shout out to Trina, always showing her love. Deke out here in the streets. Coach him up. You got it?
I told you, I'm going to be home probably right before kickoff.
Yeah, you're doing a Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report pregame show, 12 o'clock. So I'm not going to be down there doing the tailgating stuff, unfortunately. It's a bummer.
And I know for me, I'm literally doing that interview And then I'm hitting it as well. Because my mama's still in town. So I ain't staying up to the game, baby. My mama here. You know, I got your mama. We're going to watch the game Space Talk afterwards. But my mama in town. So, yeah. You know.
I'll be down there. I'll be getting down there at some point. Yeah, after that Bleacher Report stuff's done. Leave my house, I don't know, 12:30 or 12:40.
Stadium, though, maybe that's what you say. Like, if you're going to be in the stadium, just, you know, he'll be in the building.
I'll be around, so hopefully I do run into you. But in terms of when the tailgates start, they usually, I mean, like on a 1 o'clock game, you can get down there at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it'll be people out there. Yeah, it's some good people out there, man.
Mike Mula, should Colin Kapp get picked up? If so, what team?
To me personally, I'm only saying no just because he's been away for too long. When we talk about just the pace of it, seeing certain things, that's always been like my biggest thing. The further you're away from it, I'm not the biggest fan of people coming back and trying to play. I, at the same time, was open to him getting an opportunity in the preseason if that was going to be a chance, or at, you know, somebody's OTA or something like that. But during the regular season, if I'm organization right now, I just don't know if it's worth everything that's going to come with it. Not saying that he doesn't deserve it, not saying that he's in the wrong for anything, but teams do operate like that. And they ask, hey man, is this guy in the media attention, the positive and negative that's going to bring, is it worth that? And that was part of the thing that Tim Tebow dealt with as well, where it was like, man, could this dude be a backup? Sure. But can you keep him on your roster as a backup? Because everything that's going to come with it, you just ask yourself, do you want to deal with that? And I think with Cap, a part of it is that, you know. So I personally, like I said, man, if I was running a team right now, I probably wouldn't, especially during the season. But if it was the off season, I think it's a different conversation. During the off season, man, you bringing trial guys from everywhere. You got guys, you got 90 guys on the roster.
Who brought him in? Last
they didn't bring him in. They talked about bringing him in, I thought, but they brought him for a workout.
Yeah, Raiders.
But they never signed him though.
And he did that whole Michigan thing with Jim Harbaugh, right?
Mm-hmm. But it'd be like that type of scenario. It was like, sure, I would be interested in maybe when we got 90 men on the roster to see what that looks like then. But when it's in season, I only got 53 guys and 10 or however many on the practice squad. It's like, nah, I ain't playing around with that per se. Not me personally. But what about you, though, Deke, man?
No, I think you said it well. Because whenever you sign him, you might be signing him to probably just be a practice squad guy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have all the media attention on that as opposed to just your team.
Like I said, not saying that you're against him or supportive of him, but just in the sense of
and
the reality
you're right, 5,
is,
6 years removed.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a different scenario 2-3 years ago.
Right, but I'm like, this is 5 years removed. We talk about Joe Burrow struggling because he ain't practiced for 2-3 weeks. And Joe is still hot. I'm like, bro, we talking about 5 years removed. Like, man, it's just that. Like, I feel like you're arrogant if you think you can just come back after 5 years and be the same player. That's like my biggest thing. Knowing how tough it is, knowing how year to year is getting faster, the dude's getting bigger, getting stronger, the concepts, everything. The game evolves. It keeps moving forward. I just don't see how that just works out in the short term to make it worth everything that will come with it. So
AJ Martinez, but next year, 8 will be great.
Ooh, the upgrade.
I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion. You're going to see him the first time next year.
Oh, okay.
I still support Mitch.
Okay.
AJ Martinez, you can do both. I support Mitch, but also keeping an eye out for Kenny. AJ Martinez, hug your kids today and everything.
You got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. How is that supporting that man fully?
I'm supporting him. I've said it.
But you half-hearted supporting that man.
Dude, I have been
that's like a backhanded compliment.
way more easy on Mitch than probably about 70% of the people out here.
Just because you're easy on doesn't mean you're supporting him.
I am supporting him.
You're backhanded complimenting him.
No, I'm supporting him.
You just said, I'm supporting of him.
I'm supporting
but
Pickett,
you
too.
could see Pickett at some point in time this year. That's not fully. You would have never said that about 7. And
I would not.
Fully supported 7. That's all I'm saying, man.
I support Mitch, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
But
just you don't believe in him all the way.
What each quarterback has delivered to the organization is
he's
different.
1-0. He's never lost for the organization.
And that's why we're sticking with him.
What are we he's undefeated.
That's why we're sticking with Mitch. And I'm supporting him. It's as simple as that. But it goes back to what I said at the end of the last podcast. Let's not act like a large amount of people were thinking.
You said he's a 30-10 guy.
What would this offense look like with Pickett?
He's 30-10.
I think it's
You said Mitch
not
is
wrong to be
30-10.
thinking, what would this offense look like with Pickett?
If Mitch is 30-10, I don't care. He's 30-10. We going to the postseason. He go 30-10.
He's not on a terrible pace right now.
If he goes 30-10,
he's looking like 17 touchdowns.
He's 1-0 right now.
He's gonna need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah,
He's on pace for 17.
That's all I'm saying, though, bro. Like you said, 30-10. He gonna pick that. At some point in time, he's gonna have to pick up. It was week 1 though. We got week 1.
Well, I'll take a 17 touchdown, 0 interception
there we go.
ratio compared to 30 and 10. What's a better ratio, right?
Nah, you told me 30-10.
I did say that. I'll stick with that.
I want 30.
Whoever the starting quarterback is, add up all the stats at the end of the year. It's gonna be 30 and 10.
And I don't want none of this. I don't want none of this projecting. Oh, if you would have factored it out for 4 weeks and then you made it over for 17 weeks, they would have had that. No,
what I'm saying is add all the quarterback stats up. So you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 30 and 10, if not better.
All right.
AJ Martinez, hug your kids today and everything.
There it is.
Also says, what time you guys signing off?
Today?
Yeah.
Usually around like 6:30ish. Usually around that time, baby. You know that. Come on, man. It's 6:30 time frame. That's dinner time. That's family time. That's when I have to have that work-life balance, Deke. You familiar with work-life balance, right?
Somewhat.
Do you abide by it at least? Try to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you get burnt out, right? So we got to have boundaries. It's like Deke knows that, hey, man, me and Deke, we handshake, we dap. Deke knows not to kiss me, though. It's a boundary there. You know?
Right.
Boundaries. There we go.
What we got next?
So next up on the list, we're going to start our game preview. But actually, before we do that, I did want to talk briefly about some of the new addition that we do have in terms of the practice squad guy, Ryan Anderson. If that's cool with you. You know? Because they always want to know, right? You know, TJ Watt obviously will be out. They said, it's around 6 weeks, could be longer. Some people think it'll be less. We shall find out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I want. Some big news that has happened since
so I figured before we
Monday.
start the official game preview.
They are saying 6 weeks, right?
That's what they're saying.
We're all under the same understanding.
That's what I've been saying.
6 weeks is the time frame, which is amazing. Our prayers worked.
That's what they're saying. I wanted to ask you, though. So 6 weeks. Are you bringing him back at the 6 week mark, regardless of what the record is? In the sense of if we in 6 weeks, let's see, we already got one under. So if we're 5-2 at the 6 week or after 6 games,
what is 6 weeks? Is that the Dolphins game?
I think it's either Dolphins or the one right after before the bye week.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you consider 6 weeks.
Right. That's why I was asking. Like, I don't know how we're gonna work that, but regardless of wherever we split it at, if we're at a winning record versus a losing record, will either of that dictate how fast you would want to bring him back?
That's a really good question. Yeah, if we're like 5-2 or better, yeah, I would lean that way. If we have a pretty nice record, 5-2, 6-1, you can maybe wait another week.
Because this isn't an injury where
if it's close, if we're like
be like 100% healthy.
If we're like 500-ish, I think you got to bring him back. We got to win every game.
Now, are you concerned about bringing him back too soon? Because with torn pecs, the probability of you re-tearing it or re-injuring it is greater once you do it the first time. Kind of like a hamstring, right? So you think when a guy pulls a hamstring, when they try to come back in that same season, what happens? They usually tweak that or tweak something else, right? Then it kind of lingers on the rest of the year. With pecs, especially torn pecs, this is part of the reason why time is so important, to let it fully heal so you don't re-aggravate it, so you don't re-tear it, because the next step is you didn't tear it completely off the bone. The next time you tear it, it will be off the bone. So that would be the surgery type, okay? So that's the part where I'm asking, hey, do you consider that in this equation? Because whenever you bring him back, obviously we know TJ's going to be TJ, right? He's going to play balls to the wall, 100% effort. He's not going to care about protecting himself. He's not going to make business decisions. He's not going to do anything to alter how he plays the game. But that might not be the best situation for his pec if you're talking about him coming back in a 6 week window. So with all of that in there, that's what I'm asking once again. It's like, man, how does any of that determine if you're bringing him back, if you win it? Because I know some people have said, man, they would sit him all year if that meant that if he wasn't going to re-injure it. Because like we said, if you re-injure it, now you potentially jeopardize next season.
No, you bring him back. You definitely
Okay.
bring him back. So with that question, I think no matter what, you're going to be concerned this season, no matter when you bring him back. I think he needs to be back when he's 100%. The best recovery possible that he can get to.
this year, though. Yeah. So
No, here's my part. Yeah, once it hits the point, it's like, okay, no matter what, if you wait another however many weeks, it's still going to be the same risk, or you're still going to be at the same percentage. Once you hit that point, you're good to bring him back. Now, if we do have the record going back to the whole, if we're 5-2, 6-1, that could maybe give you that cushion of, let's just wait an extra week just in case.
Okay.
But that's it for me. Like, once he hits the point where no matter what, the risk is pretty much the same, and he's as healthy as he's going to get for the season, just put him in there.
But that's the part we're talking about. Once he's as healthy as he's going to get. What if that's just 80%, though, at 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks?
And it's not going to go up to 85, 90?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking, it's a torn pec, bro.
I
That's
think
what I'm
you got to get him in then.
Okay. So that's what I was trying to feel like. He doesn't have to be 100%. You'll put him out there.
No. Yeah, you got to get him in there.
For sure.
If you're telling me, all right, time goes by, weeks go by, we do at this week 6, 7 point, they're saying, all right, you're at 80, 85%. It's going to stay 80 to 85% the rest of the season no matter what.
Right.
Just get them in.
Okay.
But if you're telling me, all right, a week or two, it could get up to 90, 95%, that's a different story. I think once you hit the point where it's like it's not going to get any better and the risk isn't going to get any worse, you just put them out there.
I like it then, man. All right. For me, man, I'm not even thinking about bringing him back before the bye. That's just me personally, man. I think
that's after Eagles game. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So,
and that's like I said.
Wait, what, week 8 then? Week 9?
That's when I'm first starting to even think about it. Because, as I've said, man, knowing how the pec injury is, especially the ones that even there aren't torn off the bone, along with the position that TJ plays. When he's playing the run, he's doing this, right? When he's setting the edge, obviously he's here. But when he's going to reach for plays, he's here, right? Arm outside the framework is isolated. Okay? When he's going for his strip sack, right? All of that is on the thing that is supposedly trying to recover. You're stressing it and you're isolating it. So it can't even lean on anything else. And by the position that he plays, is constantly in the action. That's why for me, I'm not as optimistic about him coming back at this 6-week mark and being TJ Watt that we're accustomed to, without potentially re-injuring it even more. That's why I'm like, man, if you can get it to 8 weeks, man, go for that. Because especially if we are handling what we're supposed to handle, even if we're splitting it, if we're sitting here, we go 50 or 500 during that time frame, it's like, okay, if I know that I have healthy TJ, not just pec version, but also physical conditioning version, and also because nothing worse than he takes care of the pec, that's good to go, but he get out here and pull a hammy, he get a groin, he get a hip flexor. We saw the groins, we know that was from a year ago, and what was that from? Just lack of football reps. The training camp situation with the contract, but we saw how that lingered on, and at times it definitely hindered him. We could see it. We'd be like, yo, this isn't the best. That's also a part of this thing. So that's why I'm just like, man, I'm not in a big hurry to get him back out there, even though we know we're going to need him. We're definitely going to need him. And I feel like we're going to be feeling the urgency and the pressure at times because it's TJ Watt. You're not replacing TJ Watt with 1 player, 2 player, or 3 players. The guys that are of TJ Watt's class are already on teams getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. So you're not going to just sign somebody to do that. But I think that if we are just a little bit more patient with his return, I think it pays way more dividends for this team in terms of getting the most out of TJ this season, but also going forward next season and so forth after that. So that's why for me, I'm like, man, take your time. Take your time.
Who's putting this 6 weeks out there? Because Tomlin said nothing of it.
No, Tomlin said nothing.
TJ hasn't said anything. All he said was, I'll be back.
But it was Shefty and Pelissero. They were the ones. But they were the same. Think about this.
Who's leaking that from the Steelers then, though?
Who do you think leaks it from the Steelers? That's why I tell you every time. It's like, bro, their sources in terms of Shefty. When I told, bro, I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, if that's the head trainer, that's the GM, and that's a random security guard over there, how does this information get out that quick? Because that's how quick it happens. So you tell me who the sources are. You don't even have to publicly say anything. I remember, like I told you my story, man, and I'm not TJ Watt. I had to text my wife before I could even get out the locker room because I already knew it was going to be out there. It was already going to be on there. I'm like, yo, how? It was 1, 2, and 3 of us in here. How? I don't have Shefty's number. How? So I'm just like, yo, that's who their sources are. So if he's saying it out there, he's definitely getting it from a valuable source. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what no one's. I'm like, bro, his sources are GMs, head coaches. Like, I'm convinced owners, team presidents, like, that's who he's talking to, bro. Because I'm just like, how? Make it make sense to me, Deke. And I've seen it on too many occasions, bro. It happens too much.
Well, all I'm going to say then is, the 6 weeks is the time frame that's been thrown out there. So that's why everyone's thinking it. Because if you were to tell, like, going off what you're saying, if you're telling me for TJ to be his best or whatever it is, it's going to be after the bye. That's fine. I don't care. It goes back to what I said. Yeah. I just want him, whenever you hit the point where it's just like he's at his best. If you're telling me the actual time frame is 8 weeks, then I'm fine with that. Yeah. The only reason we're going off 6 weeks is because that's what's been thrown out there. Fair enough. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're telling me he's going to hit that 90% threshold after the bye and then it's going to stay at 90%, all right, just do it after the bye.
Yeah, because like I said, he won't ever get back to 100 this season until he can just physically just sit down and let it heal, because you're trying to let the tendons and the muscles heal back together. You know what I mean? Without having to go in there and physically attach them or reattach them. But every time you're out the framework, every time you're extending, because when he tore it, that's what it was. It was right on the strip. He went here. And when you're out the framework, that's what happens. It was obviously with his left hand. So when you're talking about playing that position, you're doing that a lot. You're out the framework a lot. And that's what makes it happen. That's how you tear it. So that's why for me, I'm just like, man, if you already tore it, you're going to be coming out here doing the exact same things. It's not like you're going out here and playing DB where you backpedaling. You don't have to do all that reaching and pushing and pulling. And it's also different when you're working rehab, because in rehab it's what? Hey, Deke, you ready? I'm going to push you. Hey, Deke, are you ready? I'm going to pull you. Hey, now I'm going to take you this way. So it's like you kind of know already. But when you're playing football, you don't have that luxury. You don't get to know ahead of time. Oh, yeah, we're going this way, so let me get ready to set up. Oh, we're going that way. Let me get ready to compensate a little bit. You just have to play. You just have to react and flow. And that's the part where it can be a little dicey.
Well, we signed this dude as reinforcement. Ryan Anderson. What do you got on him?
Well,
he looks athletic to me.
So Ryan Anderson was a second-round draft pick, 2017 draft to the Washington Commanders, what they currently called. Obviously, they weren't in 2017. I think they were the Redskins back then. But out of Alabama, 4 years, not a ton of like crazy productivity. I think he has 70. Let me pull it up.
I think it's like 6 or 7 sacks total.
Yeah.
The one
so
year
here
he
it
had
is right
4
here.
sacks.
78 total tackles, 6 sacks total in his career, 52 career games, 7 for a loss. So, but when you watch him as this, man, I think that he's really good against the run. I think he's stout. I think he's strong as heck, man. Good frame on him. Plays with good effort. Not necessarily a pass rusher, though. Can win, though. Think more of just a fundamental type of guy when he's rushing the passer versus when he's in the run game. I think that he's actually like a legitimate, like, good player. But that is a Bama staple when you're talking about some of their front 7 dudes. They're stout as heck against the run. They're physical as heck. But when you're asking in terms of like, yo, are you just a freak that could just cook guys out here? He's not really giving you that. Don't think he's as athletic as Alex Highsmith, not as explosive as Alex Highsmith. I like Malik Reed a lot more. But if you're asking in terms of where he would lie versus a Jameer Jones versus your Hamilcar Rasheeds,
we still got Scott on the practice squad too.
Like, to me, I think Ryan Anderson is above them, but I think he's a cut below a Malik Reed and Alex Highsmith.
Which is how it should be, because if he wasn't a cut below Malik Reed or Highsmith, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But like I said, I think he's a good player, but he's not going to come out there and be a world beater. I don't think that he's going to wow you. Even when he's won, I like the fact that he ball searches, though. Even on some, like I said, he doesn't have a ton of sacks, doesn't have a ton of, overall productivity, but he does search the ball. You watch him, man, he's hunting that ball, whether it's run game or hitting after the quarterback. He's trying to take that football away. And obviously that's a Nick Saban thing. He's really ball aware. And that's one of the things I'm sure Coach Tomlin was intrigued about, knowing what Coach Tomlin likes in his defenders, guys that hunt the ball, guys that are smart players, guys that play with great effort. Ryan checks those boxes. It's just, like I said, he's limited because he's not the best overall athlete. He's not going to come out there and just wow you with lights out speed or be 6'7" and look like a freak. Like, that's not him. But he's a good player, though.
Is there a week by week maybe time frame where you could potentially say to yourself, hey, it's time to bring in a big name?
Well, the big name element...
Because I think right now this is fine. This is 100% fine. And it should be fine if everything works out in the best case scenario, because TJ should only be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe you're not as focused on bringing in a dude like a D Ford or a JPP, because TJ is eventually going to come back, and then what's their role going to be? Yeah.
But TJ has to be the one that's
But we need to win games, though, still.
I'm with you. But the problem is, the reason why I don't say JPP, and I think we talked about in terms of the fit, is not really there, but also money-wise, he's going to want more than what we should pay for a 6 to 8 week Band-Aid, so to speak. Now, that would also lean back on this coaching staff and this training staff truly believing that it's 6 to 8 weeks. If they truly believe it's 6 to 8 weeks, we're probably not going to see them bring in anybody. They're going to ride with who we have.
My question is, you don't think there's at any point a scenario where we'd bring that up?
Me personally, I give these dudes 2 weeks. I trust Highsmith. I trust Cam. Yeah. I trust Larry Ogunjobi. I need to see, okay, with Malik. You're not just coming out here to be Malik. We're losing our best player. You know what I mean? In terms of TJ Watt. He does so much more than just rush the passer. So I don't know if it's just a Malik that is filling just the baseline of that. It might be a 2-3 dude rotation that has to take place over there. I don't know. Based on who we have in-house, it doesn't make me feel the best about, how we're going to Band-Aid that. But the one thing that, in terms of how I hang my hat on, I say Cam, Larry Ogunjobi, Alex Highsmith, y'all guys got to take it to that next level. Y'all have to do the next thing. I'm not looking at Malik. I'm not looking at whoever's that other outside linebacker that might sub in. I don't want them doing anything that is not what they're capable of. I want you just going out here and just doing. If you're an 8, just be an 8. I don't need you coming out here trying to be a hero. Just do this part. And from there, we'll see how that looks. I do like the fact that this is New England we're going against, because they're not an explosive passing unit where if our pass rush isn't where it needs to be, we could be exposed. I feel good about that part. If we were playing Cincinnati this week, it would be a little bit different, because now I'm saying, hey, man, we need somebody that's going to be cooking over here for 4 quarters consistently. I don't know if these guys are that compared to how TJ was. So, but for this week, we should be fine.
Yeah. Whenever you look at the defense as a whole, I think it's still a good problem to have. And also I have faith that we could make this work for however long TJ is out. Malik Reed being one of your bottom 2 players,
bro,
that goes to show you still have a good defense. And as you named all the players, we still got Cam, we still got Highsmith, and if he just keeps playing like he did in week 1, that's gonna be a problem. You all of a sudden have now you're missing TJ, but still having at least one potential top 5 to 10 pass rusher in the league. That's a difference maker. With how the corners were playing, secondary, Micah Fitzpatrick, we can get through this for sure.
Yeah, but like you said, it is largely predicated on Highsmith has to keep playing the way he was.
And just everyone as a whole step up. Yeah.
But that's because that's TJ's impact. We know TJ is a heck of a player, and rightfully so. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, why he's the defensive player of the year, and everything else that has come along with it. So when he is not out there, the way you look at this defense does change a lot. You know what I mean? It's not as scary. It's still scary, but it's not as scary when there's not a TJ Watt over there. It's kind of like if you talked about the Browns defense, right? If you were to take Myles Garrett out their lineup, you can still respect the defense, but you're not talking about it to the same level. You know what I mean? If you talk about the Rams defense, you take Aaron Donald out that lineup, you're like, yo, they still good. They got pieces, but it ain't the same. And that's kind of how I feel about us right now. It's like we got pieces, but we don't have that guy right now.
And that's why I wonder if in a week or 2, 3 weeks, we look and we see our pass rush just isn't up to snuff. Do we make the move knowing that TJ still might be out for another 3 to 4 weeks? Whereas last year whenever we had these injuries, it was like Highsmith was out for just like a week or two.
Yeah,
TJ
it
was out
really
for a
short
week.
term, and it wasn't consecutive weeks. Yeah.
But if we had to deal with Tuska for like 4 or 5 weeks,
yeah.
I feel like we as fans, people watching, would be begging the like, dude, just make a move. We got to still win these games for when TJ does come back.
Yeah.
We still got to be in the mix.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the move's fine right now. But if things aren't working out, we need to call one of these big name guys and just try to get something going, I think. Give it our best effort.
Even if it's only going to be a 4-week game before TJ were to come back at that point in time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you'd have to work it out
because
you don't want a Melvin Ingram scenario.
What I'm saying is this. We're not going to bring in this guy today, right? So you're at least going to be 1 week down. So you're going to see what that looks like. Maybe get 2 weeks of it. That's what I'm trying to be like, how far along before you pull that plug and say, hey, I want to bring this guy in. But now, because we waited a couple of weeks to see what it looks like to get to that point of, all right, now we got to pull this trigger. Now you're talking about spending a lot or more than we necessarily would want to for an even shorter window of time before TJ were to return.
Wouldn't be the worst thing having the extra depth.
But that depth isn't going to talk about being depth when that depth was out there playing 70, 80 snaps as the starter, because that's the Melvin Ingram issue.
I know. It depends on...
And if you're bringing Jason Pierre-Paul in here, I can assure you, you're going to have similar things like that. He won't be a cancer or nothing like that, but he wants to play. And rightfully so, because he's a heck of a player. And he's proven himself. He's a multiple-time champion. Got a ton of sacks as well. He's going to be out here looking like, okay, I don't mind sitting behind TJ. I ain't sitting behind Highsmith. I'm a Super Bowl champ. I got this and this and this. That's not what Ingram was the same way. I get why. Now, do we agree with it? Not necessarily. But that's what you deal with potentially when you're bringing those guys in, because you're not bringing them in on minimums either. You're going to have to compensate them to a certain level.
Yeah, it's all on how you handle it beforehand. Did the Steelers handle it the best beforehand with Ingram? We weren't in the room.
Yeah, we weren't. Yeah, so we
because based off Ingram's thinking with it,
Yeah.
he thought he was going to be in the mix to be starting the whole way through. Whereas when we signed him, we thought we were going to give the
As a
keys
third.
to Highsmith.
Yeah.
And, you're going to be our solid
Right.
third guy. Maybe get 30% of snaps, whatever it is. So if we can be clear up front with the JPP or like a D4, like, dude, we're going to need you for this stretch right here. I can't guarantee you anything after that. You're going to be a depth guy. Maybe we bring you in for pass rush situations. But if you want a job, you want some money, we got you here. And just as a way to put some extra tape out. Like D4, I think, would be a better example for that than JPP, because JPP's older.
Yeah.
D4, he's been banged up these last 3-4 years.
The last 2 years, definitely.
So if he can get out there for a 5-6 week stretch and put some nice tape out there, that could be beneficial for him next free agency.
I mean, because technically he did last year. He played 5 games, had 4 sacks. He had that, but he got hurt. You know, it's the injuries.
And then
it's the
and then
injuries. It's the
49ers
injuries.
cut him.
Yeah. So it's like that. Ooh, you know, bro, I just clicked back to the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Man, we got color up here. We did not acknowledge. Okay, let's stop the show. Stop the show. Who was the color from, by the way? Do you got it? Oh, is that A.J. Martinez, you dirty little dog. Well, hello there. We greatly appreciate you. And forgive us. More importantly, me, because I should have had my eyes on the right screen. I had it on the other screen because we was talking players and stuff like that. So, I had switched it up. But you know what? Let's stop the show, man. We got 50 burgers.
We got some comments surrounding this comment, though.
Ooh, okay,
saying
okay.
John Doe saying baller alert. Cam Strader, the big
Baller
50.
alert.
Q, stop the show.
Stop it.
Donald Copeland, 50 burger.
I was going to say, why y'all ain't knock on the door and say, hey, yo, it's a 50 burger. Stop. We couldn't hear y'all, man. I ain't looked down. I should have looked, bro. Jeez. But it's stop time now, man. All right.
AJ Martinez says, I don't know what time it is in the Berg. Didn't want to interrupt. Heading to class. Love, blessings, prayers to Moats, Deke, the chat, and Steeler Nation. It's 3:30 in New Mexico, so you're 2 hours behind.
okay.
Or 2 hours behind on us. Coach T likes splash. Here's a little splash for the podcast. Thank you.
Well, you splash away, baby. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Nah, definitely like that. Nah, man. Salute you to AJ, man. And hopefully, everything is working out for him in class right now. Yeah, man. That's why I had to keep the screen back up. I was tripping. I was late. All right.
Q says, I'm going back to Super Chats. If that's cool.
Yeah, you good, man. Knock it out.
He says, I'm bringing in TJ after the bye no matter what.
Okay. And yes, and actually in the regular chat, too, y'all let us know, man, your thoughts on how fast you would return TJ Watt. How fast would you bring TJ Watt back, man? You bringing him back before the bye week, or are you going to wait until after the bye week, or do you shut him down for the whole season? You guys let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the chat. Por favor.
Sean McCartney, not much has been said about TJ's injury or recovery time. He's not on IR, and not many comments about it besides no surgery and out for the Patriots.
Yep.
What if he came back week 3?
I'm not against
It wouldn't even be a pec tear then.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it would be. We've been lied to if he comes back week 3.
It wouldn't be our first time.
Like, it's not even a tear at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a bruise. Just pumped me really hard. Got a little knot. I'm good now.
Sean McCartney has where Adam Schefter got his information. Says Schefter read TJ's lips when he walked off the field, then Googled how long a pec tear was. How long it takes to heal.
All right. Yeah, I'm really over here trying to figure out who come with this 6-week thing. I'm over here like, man, what is it? It felt like it's almost longer than that. Very much. Well, hurting. But, hey, man, hopefully it is. It's TJ Watt. TJ could do it in 3. It's TJ.
Right.
He can get out there in 3.
You brought up how JJ was the last one, or one of the only ones we've seen in how long to actually have surgery, then come back.
Yeah, I never actually looked to see like what he did when he came back, but he did come back. I definitely know he came back.
Was that the Bills playoff game? The Texans-Bills playoff game?
I don't know. But he was the only one I know that has come back with surgery.
Oh, man, yeah. I don't know if my memory's good here or not, but I kind of recall him not playing that season, then him coming back for that game.
Like I said, it definitely could. But whatever it was, he was the only one I know who has ever come back from it in the same season.
Calculated Snipe, joining the upper room.
Oh, Calculated Snipe, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. And also upper room members, Calculated Snipe, since you are the newbie, on Space Talks, post-game shows, right? After that first hour that's open to the public, got that exclusive just for you. And since you're currently in the upper room, there's an Alex Highsmith breakdown as well, where I was talking about, the things that he was doing well on his 3 sacks and some of the growth that he's taken. That's available to the upper room. It has been up there since last night. Around the same time I dropped the pros for, the good and the bad for the steals on 3rd down and stuff like that. So yeah, for the upper room members, man, Alex Highsmith's tape is still up there, before we send it off to the regular congregation as well. But we like to give you a little of those exclusive perks, man. Give you a little extra time on your front end. So shout out to you, Calculated Snipe.
How about this one? The Rick Baker 74 says trade to bring back Dupree.
Now that's my partner though. That's my running mate. That my dude.
I needed to look up his contract because we know he signed a big deal.
The contract is terrible. You know this. It is absolutely horrendous.
Cap hit next year, $20 million.
Like I said, it's absolutely
$19 million in 2024.
You don't want to touch that, bro.
$18 million in 2025.
You don't want no parts of that contract. Okay.
The dead cap though is 10 for 2023, 6.4 in 2024, 3.2 in 2025. Maybe we could do a restructure.
I'm cool. And Bud's my dude, but I want him to go ahead and get all the money he can get while he's down in Tennessee. Then after that, man, we'll see. But yeah, go get your money, Bud. Get your money. Yeah. But shoot,
it'd be a complicated scenario with Highsmith.
It 100% would. Because
once TJ comes back,
who you start?
Unless Bud's just happy he got his money. Is he cool with being the 3rd guy or not?
Who you start?
You know him better than me.
Who are you starting?
Highsmith's on one right now, man.
Who are you starting?
I'm starting Highsmith. I mean, until he stops getting 3 sacks a game. Dude.
So you've seen it happen one time.
Yeah, but I mean, Bud did have a down year last year, coming off the injury and everything.
Off of the ACL, right? We talked about Devin Bush, and y'all gave him.
He was banged up a little bit too last year.
Okay.
All I'm saying is,
last time you saw him healthy was what? Double-digit sacks, right?
I get it. That was 2 years ago. I'm
sticking with
Highsmith. If you're telling me right now, I'm sticking with Highsmith.
Okay.
Highsmith, he's on one this year, dude. I could tell from week 1. I saw that look in his eye.
I am going to be Switzerland and stay neutral because both of these are my guys.
They are.
Bud, that was my pup. That was my young boy, as a rookie. And watching him grow into the dude he is now, man. I'm a partner. And then Highsmith, because it's like the same concept. It's like, man, I remember him and Larry Ogunjobi down on the campus of UNC Charlotte running sprints. And I'm like, oh, these two good. These dudes, they going to be all right. I like these dudes right here. It just hit different for me, man. So I can't pick between them two, man. I would start all 3. How about that?
Well, we could start both Dupree and Highsmith while TJ's out.
Starting them all. I'll start them all. We run in big, I don't know.
Have Dupree run some rover.
Yep, there we go. We're gonna be in three-man rover looks. Yep, Bud, you just get it how you live. Run your little A gap, B gap blitzes. Yep, we'll be good. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the last of the super chats.
I like it. So now we should be to the final thing, man, which is talking this Patriots Steelers official preview. And kind of how we did last time, man. We talked about some of the advantage, or I'll get into like the advantages that I think we'll have, some of the disadvantages. If you had some that you want to drop as well,
Sure.
we'll hit it like that. Then, drop our score prediction for two. Or we drop that for this one, and then obviously tomorrow's when we do our full week 2 stack your paper edition as well, man. So yeah, man. Patriots and Steelers. Let me pull up my nizzouts. There it is. Some of the advantages I think that we will have though in this game, man. I like our wide receivers versus their DBs. I think that they are smart DBs. I think they're well coached, obviously, but in terms of when we're talking to Deontay, when you're talking Claypool, when you're talking to Pickens, the big speed element, I think that could definitely present some challenges for them. Speed was definitely hurting them last week. Obviously, we know Tyreek Hill is a different type of speed, but just watching how, they did allow completions. They did allow us to run out the catch. When I think of Deontay, granted, he's not a Jalen Waddle in the sense of that type of speed, but have we not seen Deontay do some of those things as well in terms of a 5-yard screen where he's able to take it and make that into a 15-yard play? Like, those are some of the things that when I look at Deontay, I say, man, I think that he can win any of these matchups he's going to face. When you're talking about the jump ball element, I want to see, can these DBs really hold up on the perimeter? I don't necessarily believe they can. But that's the part for me, man, that we're obviously going to have to find out. But I'd love, man, if we can get these opportunities where we're throwing that ball downfield to a Pickens, we're throwing it downfield to a Chase, even a Boykins. It's like, man, this secondary is not like how last week's secondary, they played well. I'm not even going to fake on it. Like, our offense has some stuff that was self-inflicted, but the Bengals, they still was doing some good stuff, man. I thought their DBs really did a good job of getting hands on our receivers and just making it a lot harder for them. When I watch New England on tape, I don't feel that same way about those guys right now. So like I said, I think that's going to be a nice advantage for us. Did you have one you want to hop in? Because I just had 3 I was going to hop in.
I'll just go reverse. I think our cornerbacks have a great matchup against their receivers.
Well, that's up there as well. That's my third one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier with our likes and dislikes.
Yep.
You got Jacoby Myers, or actually, let me put it to you this way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going from Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, now he did get hurt in the game, Tyler Boyd, and this Thomas dude that was low-key cooking us a little bit.
Don't we do that every year? We create receivers, bro.
Yeah, Fulgham that 1 year from the Eagles.
Yo, it was like, who? It's Travis Fulgham, bro. Who is
Sims
this kid?
with Washington. Didn't he have like 100 yards?
Yep.
It's not the Sims that's on the team.
No, it was the other Sims.
I forget what his first name was.
Yeah, it was the other one.
He cooked us for like 100.
Yeah.
What other receivers?
Because the Amon-Ra St. Brown, he did this in the preseason though when he got off.
Yeah, but he was actually good.
That turned out to be, yeah.
He almost had 1,000 yards last year.
It was Quez Watson was the was it Watson?
Watkins.
Watkins. That's yeah. He was the other one in Philly. He was like, yo, who are these dudes and why are they getting off like this, man? Yeah, we will create a D. We'll create a receiver now. We'll do that. Don't be surprised if it's like, let's see, who's there?
That's what I was gonna say. So Jacoby Myers. We go from last week, Jamar Chase, like their trio of receivers.
It's Jacoby
Myers.
It's Jacoby.
Devontae Parker, Aguilar. Well, if you had to pick one,
Trevin Kinchako, he just brought it up. He said Chris Hogan was the other guy that we done turned him into. He was like, yo, who is this dude catching? Why? And
Edelman cooked us a lot, but he was actually good.
Yeah.
Hogan was good with the Patriots.
Yeah, Hogan was my dude from Buffalo. He was not that in Buffalo. So that's why it was very heartbreaking to see him do that, but to moi, his teammate, on a bigger stage like that. Like, bro, we supposed to be Bills, man. What's happening here, bro? Show me some love. Let me win. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but if our corners did a solid job. I know it wasn't perfect because Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. We're talking about him as being a top 3 to 5 receiver in the league. These Patriot receivers aren't close to that. They're solid. Like, I actually wouldn't mind some of them on the squad, but as number 2s or 3s.
Yeah.
So if now you got our corners who I thought stood up pretty solid against the Bengals and probably is going to be the top receiving core that we ever play throughout the rest of this season.
Yeah.
Is this a bottom 5 receiving core in the NFL?
It's the conversation.
It doesn't have star power.
Like,
It's got depth. If Kendrick Bourne's your fourth receiver, that's not terrible. Tyquan Thornton, if he's your fifth guy, he's the guy that you drafted in the second round.
It's gonna be Kendrick Bourne. Just watch. He gonna be the one. I was looking for a random name. That was the one I was looking for. Kendrick Bourne. Watch. Yep. Don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be surprised. He gonna hit us with a 7 catches for 83 yards and a tutty. Watch. Just watch. I hope I'm wrong, but I just feel like that's the type of dude that it would be. How Thomas was in the game. We're looking at Thomas like, bro, who are you and why are you catching these passes? Why are you getting targeted like this, bro? What is happening right here? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, it would even be better for our corners if we knew Levi Wallace was playing. But I still think we can get away with Akello, Cam on the outside, and then whoever you want to throw in the slot between Mollett, if you want to bring Trey Norwood up. Mm-hmm. We'll make it work one way or another. But definitely if we have Wallace, this is definitely a mismatch. I just think it is still in general, no matter what, our corners versus their receivers.
Okay. Yeah, so
they should be getting locked up. Like I'm not expecting like anything big happening, unless, like you said, it's just one of those things where lapse of judgment or we're not prepared. Who knows? But on paper, there's no way the receivers should be cooking our cornerbacks.
Yeah. So like I said, that was another one of mine that I had up here. But the third one that I had, our pass rush versus their offensive line. We have to win this. We have to.
Oh, that was mine too.
Yeah, we got to win it. Granted, they get confused at times, but at the same time, I think that we have some favorable matchups. I really like Highsmith and Trent Brown. And Trent, I mean, he's been a really good tackle in this league, but he struggles with speed. And that's what Highsmith is bringing right now. Speed, versatility, bend. And knowing Trent, a.k.a. Baby Huey, he struggles with some of that stuff at this stage. His first stint with New England, totally different. When he was even out in Oakland before they went to Vegas, different. Right now, he's not that. You know what I mean? Like, could he get back to it? Sure. But right now, that's not what's showing up on tape. I just think that this is one of those ones, man, where our pass rush as a whole across the board, we got to win these, man. We got to win these ones. I'll be interested to see the Malik Reed and Isaiah Wynn matchup. Because prior to that, when it was going to be TJ versus Wynn, I was over here licking my chops, you know? But that's the one where I'm like,
I think Reed gets one.
I low-key feel like he does.
I wish there was a DraftKings bet that you can make. They don't do defensive players with sacks, though.
But this is my issue. I don't know if they're going to put them in position for that. Because when you watch them, like, when they're taking their shots, they're still not spreading it out like how the Cincinnati Bengals were, right? They're still keeping their two tight ends. We talk about not being explosive. They don't even run explosive style routes. They're not even, like you said, stretching the field with their route running. So I don't know if they're going to get the chance unless there's some type of confusion up front. But if they do get a situation, and this is why, you know, in terms of what we need to do, stopping the run is such an importance this week, because if you can force them to have to sit there and drop back and throw that ball a lot more, I do think now when you're talking about Malik Reed, I think he gets one. I think Highsmith will have a lot of success and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, especially after watching the Patriots offensive line and how we did without TJ Watt in the latter half of that game. I still think we should be able to get pressure on these guys.
Well, it was just in the overtime portion. Just, you know, and we did have some good pressure out there.
I think we did.
Absolutely. We still did get pressure, yeah. But that's the part for me. I'm just
still
like,
not the same. That's one quarter.
Yeah.
That's one quarter. I'm not discounting what TJ means. I want him back. We need him back. That's obvious. But
it is funny, though. Your urgency for TJ is way different than when you was talking about Najee. With Najee, you was over here like, man, get him up, man. We all right with Jalen. I'm cool.
Dude, it's because TJ, come on, TJ's game last week. Maybe if he would have played in overtime, we'd be talking about him versus Minka for the best defensive player across the league. Because he jumps up, gets a pick, and then he have a sack and a half and tackles for loss all over the place. He was unreal. Najee Harris ran for 20 yards. 10 rushes, 20 yards.
Hey, look, man, you go ahead and sit down.
There's a difference
down, man. I would Jalen out there. So as we transition to Najee, though, how do you feel about him? Because he said now that he will be out there. Obviously, the team said they're going to let practice, you know, kind of dictate his availability.
I told you I'm taking the over on his rushing yards.
So because he said
no matter what
back,
it is,
you're rolling with him.
Yeah.
You believe it.
Yeah, it's just one of those gut feel things.
Even though last week you said, yo, man, he ain't even look like he was healthy going into that game.
I told you, man.
And he's coming off of getting hurt in this game.
Najee's one of those dudes. I think he's in that type of stratosphere,
Okay.
like a TJ Watt, superhuman type of dudes.
But you just don't like.
Didn't look right last week.
But you'll sit.
If he believes he's good to go,
You'll sit
gonna
that
go.
superhuman for Jalen Warren. But you don't want to sit. And worry about, hey, TJ. Nah. He's like, yo, man, we might need to bring one of them big name guys in here. I'm just saying, man. I'm just listening to how you talking about it. You want a big name guy coming in here to replace TJ, but you could with Jalen Warren replacing Najee. Are you hearing what you? That's all I'm saying. You said they both
Jalen
star
Warren's
low.
a big
You said
name
they
to
both.
me. Big name after week 1.
And what did Coach Thomas say, man?
Go through Twitter.
What did Coach Thomas say?
A lot of people are saying Jalen Warren's a big name right now.
What did Coach Thomas say?
He didn't urinate himself.
It's like when everybody was praising Duck, and what Coach Thomas say? He didn't kill us. But everybody in the fan was like, oh, man, Duck lit it up. Duck did it. And he's like, no, he didn't kill us.
No, but he elaborated a little bit more, saying,
he
he was calm, composed out there. Everything he's done in the preseason, this is what we've expected with him. It was something along those lines. It was a lot more positive than what he was saying with Duck and what he said with other. Anytime he brings up Dotson, for some reason, it's not that positive.
He does not. I don't know what it is, bro. I'm starting to think he don't like Dotson, bro. I don't want to start that narrative, but I'm just like, bro, what is it? What is it? It doesn't seem like it's cool.
For me, it's just more if Najee feels like he's good to go. Coaches feel like he's good to go. He's good, and I could just see him flipping the script because he even did it last year, and with the shitty offensive lines, where you see him at the end of the game, what he doesn't look right or whatever. I think he just comes back next week, and especially later in the season, he started cooking sometimes and getting 100+ yards, like the Browns game. So no, I think he'll be all right.
Okay. Now I can dig it there, man. I'm hoping so. If he's gonna be out there, I'm hoping that he's healthy. If he's not, man, just sit him. It's a long season. And that's the other part that I think, because we're so passionate, we understand the urgency of every game mattering, but this is a long season. It's not like college football where 1 loss kills you, 2 losses kills you. Like, that's not the case. But what can kill you is you trying to get these week 2 and week 3 wins, and we're putting these dudes out here before they can get back fully healthy. And now they got nagging things they're dealing with the rest of the season. Lingering things they're doing the rest of the season, things that are going to compromise them being 100% the rest of the season. That's the part where I'm just kind of like back and forth of, is Najee truly right? And it's hard for me to take the team's word right now because of how they tried to downplay the injury in training camp. Oh, he just got stepped on. That's it. It's like, oh no, it was a Lish Frank. It was a sprain. Oh, interesting. Oh, then it's like, yeah, just re-aggravated. That's what that was. It's like,
no, but they said he didn't.
They said he didn't rehab. Yeah, but it's like, you see, I was like, okay, which one is it? It's a lot of moving. It's a lot of this. No, it's not.
I believe
Najee.
It is
this.
If
then it
Najee
is that.
feels like he's good to go, even if he is a little banged up, he's like, no, I'm going to be out there. I feel like he's going to do good. That's my point. I don't know if it's the smartest thing or whatnot, but I feel like he's actually, if he's going to be out there, he's always got the potential to do good.
Okay.
That's how I feel about him.
Fair enough, man. And you're not worried about the pride part either, right?
Who?
Pride. Because sometimes that pride will be telling us like, yo, I know I can't go out there, but you be like, I got this still, bro. Even though you probably shouldn't go out there.
Nah,
I got this, bro. I'm good. I'm all right.
Nah.
Okay.
It's happened. Okay. You're probably talking about a running back that we used to have a couple years ago.
I'm just asking questions, bro.
I trust Najee over him.
He was out there. He would get out there. That's what I'm saying, bro. Wasn't most ideal, but he'd be out
Najee
there.
was very durable last year.
It is not a shot. I'm not taking shots. I'm just asking questions. This is just questions. That's all. Because I want to know your context. Because, like, for me, you know me, I'm always erring on the side of caution with the health part because I'd rather have this dude as long as I can have him versus, you know, me trying to force him out there for the sake of, hey, man, he tweeted that he was good or he said he's going to play this week, so I want to back him and, you know, allow him to go out there and jeopardize himself even more. And we talk about that just in the context of, like, not as serious because this is a foot, not brain, head trauma, but with the concussion stuff, right? How they had to introduce that third-party independent neurologist because the player isn't going to say, nah, coach, I can't go. The player is always, or 97% of the time, going to say, yo, I'm good. I got this. Yo, put me back out there. Even though you looking at him like, bro, you ain't even look healthy last week. And you got hurt in that game. And you going to tell me that this week you all of a sudden magically back, you good to go? You see what I mean?
What's good about this year versus the 2019-2020 version of James Conner?
Hey, man, why you got to drop the name like that, bro? I don't want to get, that's my dog, bro.
No, I'm good with him, too.
Touchdown maker. Just call him touchdown maker James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardinals did rough in week 1. Did he do anything?
They did. I did not actually watch that game, no.
But the difference between this season and those seasons is we have a Jalen Moore. When Connor went down, it was, what? Benny Snell rookie year. Actually,
Benny Snell football was
Benny Snell rookie year.
Benny Snell was all right.
Am I wrong on that? Yeah, he had the one.
He was all right, bro. He had the long run versus
was it Cincy?
Seattle? It was Seattle.
Yeah, he had a long run or two
Yeah.
early in the season against Seattle, also the Chargers. But then he got some time.
He did.
I think it was the Bengals game. He actually kind of went off
It was
and
the
helped us win
second
it.
Bengals game. It was one where we switched quarterbacks.
Yeah, it was that one. Yeah,
He
I
went
think
off.
he almost
He
had
went
100
off.
yards.
Yeah.
He was a big part of that win. But
Absolutely.
then he fumbled against the Cardinals, and we never saw him again.
Yeah, but he was getting off that game too. And then he fumbled against the Giants that opened the next
Yeah,
year.
opening. Yeah,
But he was getting off that
he had
game
an
too.
Awesome game in week 1.
Yeah.
Now we got Jalen Moore though.
So that's the difference. Okay. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
All
So,
right.
going back to, continuing with this, we obviously talked about a couple of advantages I think that we'll have. Some of the things that I put as potential disadvantages. Now, they're not disadvantages just yet, but potentially it could be. I talked about this matchup a little bit earlier, but Dan Moore and Chooks Okorafor versus Matthew Judon. They're both going to see him. Judon plays both sides, and he is a good player on either side. He can rush from either side. He can play the run from either side. He's a good player. If the Chooks from last week shows up, I think we're all right. If the Dan Moore from the second, Dan Moore was all right last week too, man. He had some moments, but it was a lot better than the preseason. If that version shows up, I think we'll be all right. But it has to be consistent. You got to be super consistent against Judon because he's not just a smart player, but he's also a dude that's going to outwork you in certain elements as well, man. So that's the part where they really got to be just on their P's and Q's. But I have to acknowledge that, yes, that potentially could be a disadvantage for us, man. If we are, coming out there a little less than ready, a little half-cocked, yes, Judon will feel his impact a little bit more than we would normally feel. So hopefully those guys are doing what they're supposed to do out there, okay? Now I'm sure in New England they're over here saying like, hey, bro, you got you a matchup this week, man. This the one for you, dog. It's going to get you some numbers right here. I'm over here like, nah, not Dan, not you. Come on, baby, I'm believing. Let's go. All right. The next disadvantage potentially we could have is, and you brought up Najee. I didn't even want to bring him up as this part, but I will just say our rushing offense versus the Patriots front seven. They are stout. They are physical. They are gap sound. They don't give up a ton of explosive plays in the ground game. And knowing how, our rushing attack wasn't as explosive last week or last year, and it's still improving. We're working it. We're figuring it out. But also taking into context, I don't know Najee 100% healthy or not. I like Jalen Warren. I'm a fan of his game. I like what I've seen from him, from the tape at Oklahoma State to the preseason and stuff like that. I just don't personally like him as RB1 on Sunday. So that is something that I could potentially see being a disadvantage for us. And then the last was their tight ends versus our inside linebackers, just from a coverage perspective. But that's only if they actually feature these dudes. I don't really think that they're going to, because that hasn't been their identity. But I could see where if I'm watching us and I'm New England, I'm saying, hey, I'm not going to try these receivers versus these DBs. That's not there. I really don't feel as confident trying to run the ball against this team. I think we'll run to stay balanced, but the Patriots aren't looking at our front seven after last week and saying, hey, man, yeah, we're going to cook them. They don't have a Joe Mixon. And think, well, Joe Mixon was going crazy trying to do whatever, and he still was contained for the most part. Didn't stop him, but we kept the lid on. Mm-hmm. They don't have a Joe Mixon type back over there. Like Ramondre, I like him a lot. He's not Joe Mixon. Damian Harris, not Joe Mixon. So if I'm saying how would I attack our defense, how would I move the ball, I'm looking at Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. And I'm saying, hey, man, we're in 12 personnel, 60% of the time, 50% of the time for them? It's like, yo, those are how we generate our plays. That's the matchups that I'm trying to attack. I'm trying to see which one of these dudes is matching up with Jonnu, because I still feel like that could be difficult. And if whoever's taking him, Hunter is going to have the better matchup than on the backside. So that would be my approach, but that's a potential disadvantage that I could see. But it's only going to be a disadvantage if they actually utilize it. And on tape, they have not. You said it just so I said it like, they don't really use them dudes like that. Part of it, I'm sure, is the health thing. So you really can't game plan them when you don't know their availability on a week in and week out basis. I'm sure that plays into it, but yeah, those are the three for me, man, right now.
I don't know how much I have to add because I think you hit the nail on the head. I was going through this. I was struggling to find some disadvantages, but in a vacuum,
'Cause
whenever
it's
you're
not
talking
a lot,
about
though. It's honestly
yeah,
not a
whenever you're
lot.
talking about
Like,
the Steelers team, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
our offensive line could be problematic. Our running game hasn't been working, and linebackers, particularly like Devin Bush in coverage or whoever it is in coverage against the tight end.
Because Spillane is our dime linebacker right now. At least that's what we're doing a lot last week. He was the guy that was coming on field for us in obvious pass situations.
I think that's more. So basically, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, I think the disadvantage portion of it is more of a Steeler thing as opposed to
Yeah.
like the Patriots really
Yes.
outmatching us at these positions.
Yeah.
It's more just like, oh, our O line's a weakness. Patriots rush or just defensive line front seven, they're not bad. They're solid. If we're not on our P's and Q's, this could be a problem. Our rush game hasn't been there. If we're not working it, gaps aren't opening up, that could be a problem because we saw it last week and we saw it all last year.
Well,
Same thing with covering the tight ends with our linebackers.
Yeah, and the reason why that run game part is important is because I like our offensive line if we're balanced. I don't like our offensive line if it's an obvious passing situation because we've turned the ball over and we've become one-dimensional in this game. That's not what our offensive line is built for. So that's the part where why, even though it's a disadvantage potentially, it also is like very significant for us to be successful running that ball so that way we can do some of the things that we're talking about with our receivers and our tight ends.
It's like a teeter-totter.
Yeah, but it's like we can't get to there if we
It
don't
could be
get
an advantage.
this
All
part
those
just
things
yet.
could be
Yeah.
an advantage for us because we talk about Devin Bush and Miles Jack, the talent that we have at linebacker. Can we just see some consistency there?
That's the biggest part.
Same thing with our line. Like we got some stuff there. I mean, we could probably get the run game going. Let's do it though.
Yeah, let's do it.
But
Let's
if it's not, it looks kind of like what we saw last week. Najee Harris, 20 yards, and that's not helpful.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all. I like it though. I like it. All right, so trying to think, was there one other? Oh, do we have any updates on our injury report right now? Because that should be out officially.
I did have it pulled up. I saw the Steelers portion of it. They didn't have. They didn't have the Patriots up just yet, but that was literally 2 hours ago. So let's see if they got that updated right now. All right, logging on. Steelers home. Injury report. Patriots. We got Levi Wallace. Limited practice. Ankle.
Okay. Oh, same thing he was done with for now.
Najee Harris. Limited practice. Foot.
Okay.
Ross Spillane. Eye. Full participant, though.
I thought it was just his contact that came out in the game when he had dropped down on the knee or whatever. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. Unless maybe he got poked.
He was full.
He had the visor on.
So he'll be fine.
Yeah.
TJ Watt. DNP. Pectoral.
Is he playing this week? Probably veteran rest day, bro. It's Wednesday. Veteran
Mason
rest day.
Cole. Ankle. Limited practice. Good to see him out there, though.
Yeah.
All right, for the Patriots.
Talk to me.
Mac Jones. He's back.
What'd he say?
He's got the back injury, but he's back. Full participant.
Time out. Did you, when you said he's back, or did you say Mac Jones back?
Both.
Oh, okay. I thought I was tripping. I was like, yo, did I hear that right?
It was
All
both.
right. So he is back with his back.
Yeah.
You say he was a full participant.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he wasn't practicing on Wednesday. All right. Yeah, he's good to go,
Full
then, man. He's good
FP.
to go. All right. He's good to go.
Bentley. Toe. Did not practice. I saw him flying around out there against Miami. He was doing some things. So that could be beneficial
How
to
your
the
toe
Steelers.
feel? My toe feel all right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Joshua Bledsoe, groin, limited.
Growing pandemic again?
Adrian Phillips, ribs, LP, limited. Cool Strange. This is a typo. They got him as a safety. Limited.
And who's that last one? Sean Wade?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sean
yeah,
Wade,
the corner.
limited.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
So, yeah. The big one was Mac Jones. Him being a full participant.
Yeah, they're not missing anyone like that significant right now.
Yeah. Because I was interested. I was like, man, would it be a scenario where we could potentially see a Brian Hoyer type with Bailey Zappi as the backup, you know? Would have been cool.
That'd obviously be hugely beneficial to us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely would have been, man. But, yeah, definitely not looking like we're going to get that opportunity this week.
Nah, but
We don't.
We
I don't
saw
think we
in the
need it, though,
Patriots
bro.
Miami game. The
I
Patriots offense
seriously-
looked like a mess.
Yeah, I don't think any of that's gonna matter right now. I think we are fine if we do what we're supposed to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is just. I mean, and the funny thing is this too, man. When I was thinking about this matchup and I was doing advantages, disadvantages last week, I was like, dang, yo, I don't want to sound like I'm so pro Cincinnati, but they did have a lot of just favorable matchups, favorable things for them. This week, I was like, man, I don't want to sound like I'm overlooking the Patriots or that they suck, but I'm just like, yo, we match up really well with this team right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like, yo, this should be one where if we do what we're supposed to do and protect this ball, man, we should be fine. So,
I'm thinking the same exact thing.
yeah. So with that being said, man, trying to think, do we want to go
Tommy Vincent?
supers first or because I asked people to put their game prediction in the chat as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So matter of fact, this is what we'll do. Hit Tommy Vincent and we'll go through these supers, and that'll give them time to drop their score predictions for the Pats Steelers game on Sunday. All right, boom. That's how we're gonna do it, man.
Tommy
so in
Vincent.
the chat, drop your score predictions, por favor.
Deke, our guy looked like he was low-key balling Sunday. Glad I didn't make that wager with you. I don't want to jinx nothing, though. Was this the 30-10 thing where he said he'd buy like $300 in merch, and I forgot to
Yeah.
say anything or commit to the bet one way or another. Wow, so he's a Trubisky guy. Low-key balling.
Yeah, I would just. That definitely sounds like a Trubisky dude.
He says, I don't want to jinx nothing, so the bet's off.
I mean, yeah, he was straight. He was balling. I don't know, man. Balling just seemed different to me, man. He did his thing though. He.
That's why he said low-key.
Yeah, he did well enough.
Jacob Alessio, PFF didn't put Minka in the top 5 players this week.
Man, why are we even acknowledging them? They had Myles Garrett, I think, is like the number 1 dude, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? Alex Highsmith wasn't even acknowledged. TJ Watt wasn't even acknowledged over there. It makes zero sense, man. I'm official. They're the ops, bro. They're the ops.
And Minka Fitzpatrick won the
Yeah.
the
Come on,
AFC
bro.
Defensive Player of the Week.
Like, he wasn't even mentioned in the top 5. And you have Myles Garrett up there, who didn't even have a better performance than than Alex Highsmith as your number 1 guy. Whether you're talking pressures, QB hits, sacks, tackles, whatever category you're looking for off of week 1. If you took both names away and just said player A and player B, it's not even a debate. So yeah,
You're right. Also, TJ Watt.
yeah. That's what I'm like.
I mean, probably you could even have Cam Hayward up
any
there
of these
too.
dudes, you could just take their name off, put their stats up there, take his name, put his stats up there, and we're like, yo, are you serious right now? Yeah.
Minka literally probably had the best player
Like, come on,
or
bro.
best week out of any NFL
Yeah.
player last week.
And then I'm making a case for Highsmith or TJ based on what they was out there doing. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, the only guys that you would argue, and you brought him up last time, was Jefferson, maybe Barkley or Mahomes.
Yeah.
They're all on offense.
And-
So if you're
well,
doing
that's-
defensive grades,
yeah.
Minka has to be on the
Because
top.
I was like, as much as I was a fan of what Michael Parsons did, he didn't have a more impactful game than them dudes that we just named.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, PFF for clowns.
Yes.
12th wonder. Upper room. I'm in there, baby. How optimistic are we about the O turning a corner this week?
I'm a lot more optimistic just because I think the matchup is way more favorable. Cincinnati, man, they match up really well against us, but their team is designed for that. That's what happens when you're in the division. We draft certain players, we sign certain players to do certain things versus different opponents. Cincinnati, man, they got 2 edge rushers that could give us problems. They had a good back end. They could match up with us, right? With this week, man, the name or the person that you focus on the most is Matt Judon. He is, to me, their best player defensively. I think he's one of their best players on the team, if we're being real about it. But outside of him, is not a lot of guys out there where you're saying, man, these receivers ain't gonna be able to win these one-on-ones consistently. Excuse me. Or we're looking and saying, hey, man, these tight ends, Pat gonna have a tough matchup. This Logan Wilson over there. Dang, I know Logan Wilson's over there, man. They don't have a Jesse Bates over there. They don't even have a Von Bell over there. Now, I do like McCourty, but let's be real, that this stage is not the same. So I do feel really good about our offense taking a step in the right, another step and just improving. The big thing for them, though, we obviously know offensive line, they got to be more consistent, but I just think timing wise, receivers, Mitch, just got to get more on the same page a little bit more. It was some stuff that they definitely left out there. and both parties were at fault at times. I think if they continue to get more on the same page, and that will happen, it just takes a little bit more time, especially in stadium. The more time they get together to work, the better they're going to get.
Calculated snipe. Najee more key to the winning games than TJ at this moment. I disagree with that.
Ooh. Whoa.
That's a hot take.
Ooh, I'm trying to figure out that one.
That's a hot take.
Well, you said we got Highsmith. You say he's top 5 pass rush if you're doing that. You don't need 2 top 5 pass rushers to win games. You need a running game,
if he keeps up 3 sacks a game, I'd say he's in the top 5.
So if he's a top 5 pass rusher, would that have meant that we shouldn't have paid TJ Watt then?
No, we pay him both. No, we pay him both, and you feel bad for the offensive line for the other teams.
Oh, I was about to say for our offensive line too.
No.
So you know we ain't paying our guys. Yeah.
No, we got to start drafting guys for the offensive line.
No, man, we're gonna extend all our in-house guys. I need Kendrick Green getting an extension.
Dotson, that's about it.
Dotson, I need Hassan. Now, and all them dudes getting, hey man, damn, well you just stay here for 2 more years, you can get a check too.
Dotson's good for an extension. Earl DeBrow Jr. Possibility Dallas could sign Big Ben. Research it. Wait, what? Come on.
They need a quarterback desperately right now. They're not going to put Dak Prescott on IR either. What?
He says research it.
Just
I'm not even entertaining
Google it, bro.
this. I'm not even entertaining
What you scared
nope.
of?
Nope.
You nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Would
for
it
anything.
change your perspective of 7 if he put on that Cowboys star?
It would not.
That's a jersey I probably would cop. I'm sorry.
That would be devastating.
Hey, yo! I would cop that jersey.
That would be devastating.
A Roethlisberger Dallas joint? Oh, touch my heart, Lord. Take me home.
That'd be devastating.
You sure? Can you go? That's what you check it out.
I'm not entertaining this.
We don't have to entertain it. Can you just simply just type in Ben Roethlisberger and see what comes up? Just you never know.
So
never
you know about this?
I don't know when yet. I'm just asking for a friend, man.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Let's go. Let's go.
Fan Nation. It's Fan Nation. I don't see anything else.
They seem like that's a legitimate source. That's a legitimate source right there, man. What are you talking about, man?
Come on, dude. No, this is fake as hell. No way. It's some blog site saying former Steelers QB named as possible Cowboy signing. Get out of here with this.
Yep. Sign it up,
This
man.
is more fake news than PFF.
Nope. Big Ben to Dallas. Rumor
That's
started.
terrible.
It's done. So let's break this down, man. Deke, how could Ben benefit with the Cowboys on offense? I mean, just saying, bro.
Nope.
He could show the full sabotage that took place last year. What better way to show that sabotage, Deke, than if 7 were to go to Dallas and light it up? Just think about that. That would prove your theory to be correct.
I understand that. And I could see why Ben, or understand why Ben would be vengeful or feel the need to say, hey, look, they sabotaged me. Look what happened if I had the offense my way. I could see that. It's not happening, though. Hell no.
The GM
Nor do I want it
and
to happen.
head coach chose Matt Canada over Ben Roethlisberger.
They basically did.
So it's only right.
And that's why I talk about the sabotage.
So it's only right for 7 to choose the Cowboys organization
No.
right now to prove a point. And it's not a full season thing. It's just short, just a couple weeks. I need 3 weeks. You know 7 gonna get you one of them in 3 weeks. You know he gonna get you one.
No, well, if
Come
that
on
happens,
now.
Dak's ass is sitting the rest of the season,
And that's
unfortunately.
fine. That's fine. But Ben would get a chance to prove it.
I
He
get
gonna
that.
enter the spotlight, the big stage. He's used to it. Come on, man. Does Dallas got 5 rings, so getting number 6. He got number 6 in Pittsburgh. He can get number 6 in Dallas too, man.
Ain't happening.
You sure?
I ain't entertaining this.
Come on,
Nope.
D.
To your point of like, would Ben play good? I have been saying that.
But
so
how would we know if he still has it? This is a chance to prove it.
he's too loyal to the city, man. That's why he's the GOAT.
They're not loyal to him, so prove it. Prove it.
It's unfortunate. The Steelers organization did have a lapse in judgment.
So you
these
can't
last
be
couple
loyal
years.
to people that aren't loyal to you. Everybody knows that. Prove it. Show that it was sabotage. If he doesn't go, then it wasn't sabotage. He feels like it was right.
Maybe he's just more happy.
Nope. If he
chilling, doing his podcast, being around family.
If Seven chooses podcasting over playing football, then he's saying the Steelers were right. And it wasn't a sabotage. And that Matt Canada was limited because of his ability. There we go.
I don't think that's true.
That's how it works. I mean, that's how it works.
It's not an either or thing. Maybe he's just
it's either or.
I think he's just more pro family right now.
You're either coming out of
He's more
retirement
pro
and
retirement.
playing for the Cowboys, or you're choosing the podcast and the family, and you're saying, "Hey, man, I was the sabotage." That's what he's saying right now. That's what he's saying right now.
No way.
Only old washed guys do podcasts. I'm old and I'm washed.
Were you sabotaged?
No, I'm old and I'm washed. I'm
just saying.
I'm old and washed.
Going back, though.
Nope. I'm old and I am washed. Seven is not old, nor is he washed. But there's only one way to prove it. And he has a perfect opportunity. Low risk, high reward as well, man.
No, I think you just chill.
Kellen Moore versus Matt Canada.
I think you just chill.
Jerry Jones versus Mr. Rooney. The Big D versus Pittsburgh. No?
No.
You sure?
No, this is
you
not on my radar.
So you feel like there's some validity then to the coach's decision to turn the keys over to Mitch and young Kenny. I get it.
I think it's a
that's fair
terrible
enough.
decision.
I get it, bro. I get it. It's all good, man.
At least they redeemed it a little bit with Pickett.
They chose Pickett over bringing Seven back. Just think about that. Dallas is like, yo,
And
at least
I'm not for that
Dallas
either.
is like, yo, what about Seven?
No.
At least they're there. What about Seven?
No, this is just a blog making something
Nope.
up.
That's not a blog. They got that from Jerry Jones.
No.
I'm starting the rumor. They got it from Jerry himself. Jerry called it. What's that blog name?
Fan Nation.
There it is. Jerry called into them and gave them the scoop. He said, "Yeah, we are looking at Benjamin Roethlisberger." That's what he said, bro. I'm with it, bro.
No. I mean, everything that I've
Would he wear
talked about,
7
though,
down there? Because you, I don't know
I
if
guess you probably would. I don't know.
hold on, let me check their roster because was number 7 up there. Yeah, go. So I'm saying you ain't just get his number.
No, I think.
All right. Shout out to Ben DiNucci.
I basically stand by everything I've said these last year and a half, 2 years of yes, it was sabotage. Ben can still play, so if he was out there on another team playing, he'd be balling out. If he had a good system around, good offensive line.
Okay.
Good receiver, whatever it is.
Okay.
Because we saw the exact same thing happen with Tom Brady. Everyone thought he was done when he was up in the Patriots, but if you actually looked, didn't have much help around him.
But the only reason we knew that was because he went to Tampa. He wasn't scared.
No,
he didn't want to just start a podcast. He wanted to go out there and prove it, Deke.
Seven's loyal to Pittsburgh, man. He's loyal to the Steelers.
But he has the football.
Steeler for life.
He can still do the footballing podcast in Pittsburgh, but play for the Cowboys. So you're still loyal to the city, but you're also showing that, hey, I'm still that guy.
Ain't happening.
Wow. Never thought I would have seen it, man. Never thought I would have seen it.
Seen what?
Never thought I would have seen it, man. You're a little nervous. You siding with the coaching staff choosing Matt Canada
Not what I'm saying
over
at all.
Ben. That's what you did.
No,
you did. It's
no.
cool, man. It's cool, bro.
Not
it's
what
cool.
I'm saying
it's
at
cool.
all.
It's cool. It's cool. You are siding with Matt Canada.
Seven's a Steeler, man.
You're a fake.
You're a
fake Ben fan. Fake Ben fan. Yep, that's what you are, man.
Nah.
The real Ben fans will be like, yo, go to Dallas and prove it. Go to Dallas and show everybody that was saying you ain't having it anymore, that the team had to win in spite of you and all that other stuff, and that Matt Canada couldn't do what he needed to do because he go out there and show that. That's what
I wouldn't blame Ben for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. That'd be tough. That'd be tough on me right there.
Would you get the jersey?
No, hell no.
It's 7.
I would not.
It's 7 though.
No, I've said this before because this was brought up.
Yeah.
I think at the end of last year. No, I'd watch Ben's games. Trust me, I would. Yeah. And yeah, when he's lighting it up or whatever, I will say to all the fake fans out there, I told you so. I told you so. Dude still had it left in the tank.
If he was
we wanted to write him off.
If he was struggling, would you say, okay, I was wrong?
No. More sabotage.
So you want people to acknowledge if he goes out there and
would,
plays well, but if he plays bad, you're not going to acknowledge that part.
I promise he wouldn't be struggling. That's kind of the thing. He wouldn't be struggling. But as I said, I mean, it's just not right. It's not the thing to do. Nope.
Earl DeBrow Jr., shout out to you. I greatly appreciate you dropping that comment right there. We needed that. I needed That was beautiful. Thank you, Earl. Thank you.
Calculated snipe.
What number would he wear though down there? Would he wear 6 or number 8?
I guess it would be 7.
It can't be 7.
Listen, if
Diggs
who
is
was
down
it?
there. Is Diggs down there right now?
Oh,
Yeah, he ain't getting that. He gonna take how much you gonna cost him? He might.
Yeah.
Maybe the number's up for compensation purposes, but it
Yeah,
could
you
be a
pay
scenario
for
where
that.
he's like, nah, man, ain't no number for this. Like, this my number. You only need it for a couple weeks anyway. Dak be back.
no, I told you Dak would be on the bench rest of the
They
season.
paying Dak 40 a year. You're not sitting 40 a
They're-
year on the bench. That ain't
they're-
how it work, man.
They're trading him.
Nah, not 40 a year, man. You ain't trading that for 40 a year. Coming off of a thumb surgery, and you're not gonna IR me in the same year. Come
No,
on,
'cause
man. That ain't happening.
Ben
bro.
would show them what a franchise quarterback looks like. And they'd have to sit Dak, probably trade him in the offseason or something. Dak could be
Okay.
holding the clipboard. That's how it would play out.
Okay.
It's not happening, though. No
Shout out
shot
to
in
Earl.
hell.
Shout out to Earl, man.
Calculated snipe. I trust the defense's rotational pieces more.
Okay.
Whose? Ours?
It's got to be ours, right?
Rotational pieces. Our rotational pieces versus theirs?
That could,
Or just in general, like, we'll get through this without TJ Watt?
or maybe saying the rotation of. Yeah, I don't know where we're rotating at. Yeah, I don't know. He'll spin the block though. Oh, he's in class right now too, though.
Sean McCartney going to the Steelers.
Oh no, that was calculated. That wasn't even AJ. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, you're right. I'm not 100% sure.
That's cool. We'll move
Yeah.
on. Sean McCartney going to the Steelers-Pats game. First time without Brady. Can't wait. Oh, we're going to see him a few weeks
Couple
later.
weeks, yeah.
Calmonier heading out tomorrow. Vermont to the Berg.
Let's
Hashtag Steelers
go.
win.
Safe travels as well, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
He also says if Najee ain't 100%, get Jalen some reps. I think he's going to get reps anyway because he
He got
did
reps last
get
week too, yeah.
reps in last game, yeah.
And early in the
it
game
was in like
before,
the
yeah.
middle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Calmonier, Mitch is going to ball out Sunday. Hashtag 3 touchdowns. Hashtag baller. Hashtag QB1.
It's funny Cal said that because I looked over here in the other chat and Leah Warren at some point in time says low key, high key. Mitch was not balling. It's like, dang, man. Low key or high key, he was not balling.
Game
And now
winning
you
drive
got
counts as
Kyle.
something.
We know how you feel about game winning drives. I know that you hang your hat on that thing. That's where you got your flag planted. I'm with it. I'm
It's
a
not
game
all
winning
of it.
drive
It's
guy,
part
bro.
of it, though.
No, it's a huge part of it though. That's all I'm saying, man. Based on what we saw last year, that's a huge part of it. We're not gonna act like that's not. Based on the information we had last year, the game winning drive counts more than the first 2-3 quarters. That was what you told me last year.
Well, it goes back to the sabotage. There's context.
God, but
Because
you
in the fourth
said
quarter,
that. That's
they
what
let the man
you
run the offense as it should be.
told me. You told me that. You said, man, I don't care about the first 2 to 3 quarters, man. When it's clutch time, when it's got to have it, who's delivering? When it's clutch time, when it's got to have it, who delivered?
7 delivered.
And who delivered on Sunday?
Mitch. But
All right, that's what we
no,
needed, man.
no,
We got,
bro.
man.
No,
Come
come
on.
on.
I'm with you, baby. Come on, man.
No. Well, here's the thing. Because 7 was able to run the offense as he wanted to last year in the fourth quarter. Typically, that's how it went. But also, I would even admit as a whole that wasn't one of Ben's best seasons. But it still goes to show
Man,
what it means
Did
to
you
have
just
him.
try to take a half a step down from 7 just to knock Mitch down? Is that what you just did right there? You are not slick.
I'm not really trying
You
to do
are
anything.
Not slick.
No.
He said last year wasn't his best year. Only because
Well, he was
when I
absolutely injured. Though,
You told
too,
me that he
after
was
that
you
Raiders
said
game.
he was the greatest quarterback last season as well. And you said he should have been MVP last season as well.
That's what I was projecting. Didn't play out in every game that way.
So was he a top 5 or no, was he the number 1 quarterback in the NFL just last season? Not what he's done in the past.
No, I
just
said
last
that.
season. Where
No.
was he last year into you? Where would you rank him at?
I don't know. I got him. Well, you saw how I felt game in and game out, and this was always my point. If I still think Ben's in that caliber of being an elite quarterback, no matter what's happening throughout the season on a game-by-game basis, I'm taking my guy. I'm
Yeah.
taking the elite quarterback that's
I'm
on my
with
team.
you.
And if I feel like he's still
with you.
there,
Yes.
so that's what I mean. I
Yes.
just think Ben's still an elite quarterback. Get him some help
Yes.
around him; he'll show you.
Dallas got help though. That's all I'm saying, man.
Not too much right now.
You don't want to see him in Dallas. I want to see him in Dallas. I want to see it. I need to
Yeah,
know.
O-line's
I want to know, Deke.
banged up a little bit.
I want to know, Deke. The
Receivers injured.
Come on, man. Come on, Deke. Nah. It can't. They O-line can't be any worse than Pittsburgh's O-line that Ben played behind last year, right? Can't be.
It's probably true.
All right. That's all I'm saying, man. He got a tight end. He got running back. Got a receiver.
No.
Innovation at the coordinator position. Come on, man.
No.
I think you scared he gonna go down there and, really light it up. Or not. And it's the or not that you just can't stomach right now, man.
No.
I think it's the or not for you, bro. I think you're living in your fears, man.
No, it's just Ben's a
You living in your
Steeler.
fear,
No,
man.
that's just how it goes.
You're living in once a Steeler, always a Steeler. So it doesn't matter if he plays
Big
in Dallas.
Ben equals Steeler. No,
Once
don't.
once a Steeler, always a Steeler, man. Everybody know the rules. Yep, AB.
I get it,
Steeler.
but it's
Le'Veon
like-
Bell, Steeler.
Nah.
Yeah, man.
You see what Rodgers did, man. Rodgers is sticking with the pack. Now, he did get paid a lot, but
Oh, I was about to say that's the difference. Yeah.
no, what I'm saying is, like, that's some iconic shit whenever you look back in history.
But
One
does it
team,
matter,
whole
though?
career. I think it does count for something. I do.
It counts for something, but in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? No, because we care about how much you won, championships, yards, all that type of stuff.
There's a little bit extra to it.
So
though.
we're going to knock Brady for leaving?
No, I'm not.
No,
'cause
in
he
fact,
won.
Brady is bumped up because he went elsewhere.
Yeah.
See, it's a pro and a con to it. That's all, man. If 7 goes and gets number 6 for Dallas after we just kicked him out, that's what Brady did. Think about that. New England kicked him out. They said, get out of here.
No, he did want to leave. They tried giving him money, but he saw the writing on the wall. All right, you give me money, you can't improve this team at all.
Oh, man.
I mean, he was tampering the whole time up with the Patriots.
No, I don't know what
2019.
y'all talking about. He wasn't doing nothing. He was representing himself as his own agent.
No, the whole Dallas. It's just.
I'm just so glad that this came up. I don't know what made them drop that, but I'm glad that it was big enough that, when we search his name, it pops up now. So we're good.
Wow.
We should pull that one up. Would you want to see Ben in Dallas to see if he still has it or not? Just never know. You never know.
You can do what you want.
You never know. I would, but it's 6:36. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and bring it on back. But sure is, yeah, it's something, I would.
It just wouldn't be right.
I don't think he needs to. But
No, he doesn't need to.
But for the people that do feel as strongly as you do about him being sabotaged and him being held back, I would like for you guys to just get that peace of mind.
I'm at peace.
No, it's
I'm at peace.
it's not for us. It's for y'all. I need y'all to just feel like, you know what, either yay or nay. But I don't think y'all got that full closure because you've already said it. You're like, man, I think that 7 would have done this. We saw the tweets last week. We're gonna see him going forward. Man, bring 7 back. 7 could fix everything. It's like, man, I just wish that he would give you guys that chance to just, find out if this is real or if it's not. That's it. Was it sabotage or was it not sabotage?
I'm at peace.
Baby.
I'm at peace knowing
Okay.
it was sabotage, and
Okay.
we could just move on with our lives as is.
Yeah.
We drafted Pickett. We got Trubisky. Just move on.
Yeah.
Ben's happy in retirement. Got his family.
Yeah.
I think everyone's at peace.
I'm just glad that
No need to go to Dallas.
no need to go to
Pittsburgh
Dallas.
Steeler for
Just
life.
leave it there.
You're etched in stone here.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I'm with you. 7 don't need to do, but I believe that the time was right. I don't think it was too soon or too late. I think the time was right. So I'm cool with it. But for the people that are big on the sabotage and he was kicked out and all this other stuff, I do think that he should help y'all out. Because if y'all are that diehard and y'all are that loyal, man, he deserves to give y'all some of that back. Man of the people. Good dude.
All right, we got
All right.
Cal Monier. Yeah. Cal Monier
Yeah,
again
shows
says
you a couple of days
prayers
left.
to
Yeah.
everyone. Hashtag #1 podcast in the game.
Oh.
Fire. Y'all are
Okay.
good.
Let's get it.
Cameron Strader. 18-16 Steelers. Pickens and Gunner have 1 touchdown each. Gunner revenge game.
game. Let's get it. Revenge game.
I could see it.
I like the
little
revenge
zig
game.
route in the red zone.
I
Maybe.
like the revenge game. Can I get a return? I look. He like the return. I don't know. If
I don't think he takes him to the house.
Yeah.
Patriots special teams is too good.
Yeah.
He gets one for like 30 yards, though, I think.
Okay. Oh, and then this is on me right here. I got my man Bernard. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed, and we greatly appreciate you. Yes.
12th wonder. Feel like Canada called a good game. You think he has a lot more in his bag, and how soon will we see it?
Man, well, for the Canada with sabotage crowd out there, they are very excited about some of the things that they were seeing. Because, yes, at times you did see, some signs that weren't always there a year ago. So I guess he has a lot left in his bag. You know, he has new opportunities to call new plays. And it's kind of like that magic, like, you know, the magician that got the hat and he's pulling everything out like, oh, it's a bunny now. Oh, now it's a deck of cards. Oh, now it's this. Man, that bag seems never ending all of a sudden. Whereas before it might have been something that was kind of like limiting how far he could go in there. It was like, yo, I don't know. But that's just for the Canada supporters. That's what they say. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm just here. What would you say, man? How much you think he had in his bag? He got a lot left now, huh? It's probably a way better opportunity for him this year, right?
No, I think Canada, like in week 1,
Mm-hmm.
second half was weird. I don't know how much it was Mitch, how much it was Canada. Let's just see how they do together going forward. I mean,
nobody else? It was just those two?
What are we talking? He's talking about Canada going forward, right?
Yeah. But you was like, yo, the second half was it Mitch or was it Canada? I was like, man, you just put it on them two by themselves? Want nobody else?
Oh, the line and the run game was pretty much bad the whole time. So I don't know. I liked some of the creativity. The jet sweeps are a little bit excessive at points. There's stuff out there, obviously, that Mitch missed some guys. So, I mean, can you put that on Canada? I mean, I think it's just and you even mentioned this earlier. I think it was a combo of a lot of things last week. Yeah. Week 1, new quarterback, and a hostile environment. Like, it was a big game on the road against the guys that went to the Super Bowl last year and were favored by everyone to win the AFC North and whole media slobbering over and stuff. So let's see how they do going forward. Yeah. Let's just see how they do going forward. Because
and Matt Kennedy, you trust though, right?
Let's give him a chance. He's our only hope.
Oh my God.
Listen, obviously I wasn't thrilled with how everything played out last year, but I can see the arguments, and I've even talked about it this offseason of Canada supposedly having his mobile quarterback.
So he's a new man now.
I don't know about that. We saw a lot of the same stuff we saw last year. I don't know about that, but if it works, it works. I don't care if we win games.
All right, I'm with you, bro. Is he
go
to jet? Is he go to jet or not?
Canada?
Yeah. He's 1-0 right now, or not 1-0. He's 1-0 this year. Thus far.
No. Nah, just build on what you did last week and do better. Right. That's really it.
Okay, I'm just checking.
What else does he have in his bag? I'm sure we're gonna get a trick play or two every week.
Come on, bro. Did it work?
It did.
That
work.
was one of our best plays.
It was a nice play.
Yeah,
I'm sure we will get like a trick play or two, something like that every week.
I think our two best offensive plays were the trick play and the blown play at the end where Mitch hits Pat in the middle of the field.
Do we got any receivers that can throw? Like it was Gunnar quarterback back in the day.
Ooh, good question.
So I'm thinking back when we had Randall and Hines Ward.
AB too. AB was hitting with the lefty. Mm-hmm. Dude, what game did he score in? I forgot who he threw the touchdown pass to. Yes, I'm doing my time frame here. Because we would always run it in practice, and then we actually ran it in the game. We're like, bruh. But we always ran it left-handed, which threw everybody off. Because no one knew AB was left-handed throwing the ball until we, broke that out there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we're going to get... Because ultimately, if you're going to be doing these flea flickers and stuff, like Mitch is going to be the one throwing. I do wonder if we got to do that, if we run a reverse or something. Yeah. Randall type of stuff.
I'm sure.
Do we have a receiver that can make that type of throw?
It's Claypool. I feel like it's going to be Claypool, bro. He does everything else. It's going to be Claypool. He's the jet sweep dude. He's the bubble. It's going to be him. They give him screens. They give him everything. He's going to be the one. I don't even know if he can throw, but he'll be the one. Yeah.
Man, we'll find out.
Yeah.
That was the Canada one.
And it should be just two more, and then after that, we'll do our score predictions and get up out of here, man.
Patrick Money, not going to lie, Mason would have blown the Bengals out. There are some people out there saying that.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they're saying, man.
Calculated snipe.
Who do you think would be better for Dallas, though? Mason Rudolph or Ben Roethlisberger at this point? Because Ben's a podcaster, technically.
It would be Ben.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no doubt in my mind.
All right. Just fresh off the podcast booth, and he's going to go out there and lead him to victory.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Calculated snipe. Patrick Money tripping. That is all. Is there a dude named Patrick Money in the chat?
Or was Mahomes saying something?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Is a controversial quote out there?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
I don't see anyone named Patrick Money in the
Yeah.
chat. So it probably is Mahomes.
All right. Well, I think you're not going to probably have these scores up here anymore because the chat has definitely went a lot further since then because I'm going back to find where it was at. Actually, I don't see it. So drop your score predictions again because, the chat has officially went away. But I do have Rod Dollar. Rod Dollar says 28-7 Steelers. Let's ride. El Vescaro 21-9 Steelers. That's a weird one. I like that though. All righty.
Richard Stone 21-3 Steelers.
Let's get it. Okay.
Bernard is predicting 0 turnovers.
Even better.
Yeah, that would be a
Gotta
good
protect the
thing
ball.
because that's the way I think you keep the Patriots in this is
Uh-huh.
by doing some stupid stuff on offense.
Or the shanks. You can't have no shake punts. Won't
True.
need none of that. No kickoffs out of bounds. All the details.
Moneybags 27-13.
Cameron Strader says 18-16. Steals with the W.
Yeah. Jake Malesio, high scoring affair. 34-21 Steelers.
Okay.
John Doe 23-17. James Panzarello 17-12. Jason Winston 20-3 Steelers on top.
Oh, here we go. L. Myronik says 23-10 Steelers, and Minka scores another one.
Wow.
I don't think anyone has the Pats winning.
27-0 Steelers.
Yeah, I don't see anybody picking Pats over here. Okay. Martin F. Steelers 17, Pats 14. Okay.
Leah Warren 17-13 Steelers.
Okay.
Troy Mason blowout 35-3.
He said book it. Mm-hmm.
All right, what's ours?
All right, you go first, man.
Okay. I think our offense will be better this week. I think our defense will be fine without TJ. We saw how they did whenever TJ went out against Joe Burrow and the Bengals in overtime. They were fine. They were able to get pressure, and I think the Patriots' offense is a lot worse than the Bengals. So I think we're going to be able to get pressure on Mac Jones. I think we're going to be able to stop the run. And running the ball is one of the things the Patriots need to do to be successful. But so if we stop it, they could be struggling because our secondary is good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think our defense is going to do just fine against this Patriots offense as a whole. It's just going to come down to our offense and Mitch. Don't turn the ball over again, but can we get a little bit more? Can we get a little bit more of a cushion this game? Yeah. Now, we had a huge cushion last game. I don't think Mac Jones is going to turn the ball over 5 times like Joe Burrow.
Or spot us 6 out the gate.
We were up, 17-3 at one point?
Yeah.
And we gradually let them come back. And like I said, Mac Jones isn't going to turn the ball over like that. So I think the defense is going to play solid. We're only going to let up 10 points. Can we get more out of Mitch throughout the game? Now, 23 points did it last week. 20 got us to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's all we're going to need again this week. But like I said, it's got to be in a different fashion because we had so many turnovers.
Yeah.
This is actually going to have to be the offense sustaining drives, chewing the clock a little bit. So, we get 21-10. Steelers win. Mitch, I think he gets 2. Mitch gets 2 this game. I think he looks better than last week. I do think there are still going to be some rumblings for Pickett, though, after this game. And I think it's going to be justified a little bit. But Mitch is going to ultimately play well. And I'm going to be here on Monday saying I support Mitch, and we're still going to keep rolling with Mitch. Let's keep going with him.
Missed backhand compliment in the flesh.
Pickens gets 70. He gets 70+. Pickens gets 70+. Mitch said there's no doubt that he needs to start getting him more involved.
I like it. I like it a lot. For me, it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be tight. We know this because this is the Patriots, well-coached team. And as we already broke down some of the things about them that we like and don't like, they're not going to give you a ton of chances to run away and get 5-6 turnovers type situation. Like, that's not how their offense is designed. So it will limit our offense getting as many opportunities or favorable short fields and stuff like that. I do feel like the Steelers get the dub, though. I have it 20-17. I think that their offense is not going to be crazy explosive, just like how we talked about it, but they're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to have some success. I'm just hoping that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. That's the biggest concern for me, is because our offense is going to, like you talked about, they're going to have to sustain drives. They're going to have to be able to stand more on their own versus leaning so heavily on the defense, essentially like taking over. When you talk about the turnovers, the sacks, the scoring on defense, like that, you can't bank on that type of productivity every week. So with our offense, Mitch is going to have to continue to protect that ball. He can't turn it over. We talk about our receivers. They're going to have to hold on to that ball. They can't turn it over. Talk about our running game. It's going to have to be better. But I do feel like this is a very favorable matchup for us, and we have the better team. And I think this is one of those ones where if teams are equal, I'm leaning with my dog, Coach T. Holla at your boy. So 20-17 still. Let's make us go 2-0 for the culture. That's where I'm at with this thing, man.
Yeah, it's one of those delicate balances of
Yep.
with Trubisky. We need to take some shots here.
Mm-hmm.
We need to open it up a little bit more than what
Yep.
we did last week, for sure.
Yep.
Connect on some of those deep balls, whatever it is. At the same time, we're saying don't shoot yourself
Don't
in
shoot
the
yourself
foot.
in the foot, man.
No stupid turnovers.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot to be in because going back to Burrow, I feel like it's a better mind space when it's just like, bro, I'm just going to come out here and sling it, and you have like full autonomy.
Yeah.
If you could throw 3 picks in the first half, it doesn't matter. You know Burrow's the guy.
He's still going to be out
You're
there.
going to try to lead the comeback charge in the second half. Whereas Mitch, it's this weird thing where, I mean, your job's a little bit on the line here.
Yeah.
And
You don't have full
we
autonomy
got
like
this
that.
amazing defense, and there's a lot of pressure on in like a weird way. There's obviously pressure on franchise quarterbacks like Burrow, but there's the leniency of like, we trust you like no matter what, week in and week out, but also within a game too.
Yeah.
Dude, if we need 14 points in the second half,
You can get us that.
exactly.
Yeah. So I like it there, man. And it is due to 6:51. So yeah, I've really went over the clock today. But tomorrow, quick update, man. We will be starting a little bit earlier, all right? 2:45 start time because at 3 o'clock, we will be joined by the young boy Cam Hayward, man, talking about his first NFL game and more importantly, what he is looking forward to in this Patriots matchup as well. So you do not want to miss that, all right? But with that being said, man, salute each and every one of y'all that were here with us today. Not missing any things, are we, in terms of supers and stuff, right? Think
No.
we are all caught up. So yeah, man, salute each and every one of y'all that were with us today, man. Make sure y'all like the stream, subscribe, notification bell. But either way, stay safe. See you tomorrow. And until next time, baby.
Peace.